It feels apropos that you would be the first person that I'm training with in my like Captain Marvel gym.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
No, oh
boy,
dear.
I think she's actually hurt.
No,
there.
I think she is.
Yeah, she's
Ouch.
hurt. She took a hard fall off there.
Make sure you give your kids Crest. You see, Crest has Floristat. It's a unique formula, and no other toothpaste has ever done a test to prove it's better than Crest at fighting cavities.
Use your imagination. Said I could get the job.
Crest, the dentist's choice for their patients, should be your choice.
The bottom line is I hear all this bullshit from women about, oh, how far they've had to come, how they're still so oppressed, the mythical wage gap, all this bullshit. Listen, you had it good. You had a good thing going. In the 50s and 60s, all women had to do was cook and get fucked. That's it. For some reason, you couldn't handle it. You had to ask for more. I would take that right now. I'll delete my channel. I'll quit my real job. Everything. If I could just cook and get fucked for the rest of my life. God damn it.
Get your small titties out.
Get your small titties out.
No!
Hey, Ryan, you got some killer ass tits.
Not my proudest fat.
Nerderotic.com.
Yep.
That was good. Ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hello.
The great Perry Chan.
The great Perry Chan.
Legend.
We love him so much. We do. He's such a good little boy. Hi. Welcome to Friday Night Tights. We had to start the credits over again. I'll take full credit on YouTube's boomer on that one. It took, like a minute to connect or something. I don't know. Maybe it needs a blue pill. Welcome to Friday Night Tights. My name is Gary Beekler. I come to you from nerderotic.com. We have a very exciting show, and our guest will be here once his laptop reboots. He's a comedian, modern day comedian. That's how it goes. So let's go around the horn, and we will be discussing WandaVision on the very appropriately named D+, because I give WandaVision a D+. I didn't like it very much. Hi, Az. How you doing?
Well, I had a little tantrum today.
Uh-oh.
Right.
Why?
Well, I wanted a mechanical laptop. No, I didn't. That's a lie. I wanted a mechanical keyboard. So I bought one about a month ago. I bought a Razer Blackadder. Great looking keyboard. Brilliant. I bought it from Amazon, and it arrived. I had fucking German keys on it.
Well, I mean, look at you.
Right. So I've been spending the last few weeks just plowing through, because I'm muscle memory. It's all good. I know where shit is on a keyboard.
You got a Nazi keyboard?
Yeah, and then And then today I was like trying to do something, and then my finger slipped, and I was looked down, and it had like fucking itching or snuffing, looking back at me, and then I looked over there, and it had like and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, so I just fucking slammed the keyboard down, and then all the fucking German keys went everywhere. Now I can't put the German keys back on the fucking keyboard.
Oh my goodness.
So I had to go and dig out my spare keyboard.
Oh man,
it works.
How will you go on? How will you go on?
Wow,
I am
this
so
is
sorry.
why Brexit happens.
Yeah.
I can see as in there 99999.
Because of Brexit.
By the way, Germans in the audience, I was just kidding. Okay, just kidding. I remember getting just tore up for saying those bad guys from Germany once, and everybody's like, "It wasn't everybody." It's like, okay.
It wasn't all of us.
Wait, you got tore up from the pro bad guy side or the anti bad guy?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know.
It's very.
There were some defectors.
I don't understand that we're all speaking German.
I wouldn't risk my Disney job to bring it up. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. That hot Disney gig that pays $25K an episode.
You know, at Disney, our policy is the only good Holocausts are in China.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, starting early. That's good.
I don't work for Disney. That's not true. Sorry.
But they also don't want anyone to talk about that either. So
Yeah, exactly.
Nor will you, Kurt.
Thank you for it. We want to thank you for allowing us to film during your genocidal death camps. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I would imagine it's probably tough. Like, you probably should thank them. It's probably not the easiest thing.
Yeah, quite distressing.
It was probably a lot of work for them to keep the screaming down so they could film.
Yeah, like there's some effort went into that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi.
Is everyone okay? Is everyone all right? That's not how fucking Chinese people speak.
That was German. That's your
Germans
keyboard
again.
coming out.
Yeah,
It was a German translator for Chinese. Trying to bridge the gap.
Wait, Odin. I'm sorry. I don't. Is that the Mulan? Is that what that is? The
This,
remake?
yes, I have it for prestige because now, for all time, it is preserved that they indeed thanked a paramilitary group that's in charge or at least associated with.
That's probably a collector's item at some point, right?
You can just say you liked it, Odin. You don't have to lie to us. You just say you're the one person in the world that liked it.
Did you see my review? I tore it apart. I actually watched that crap.
Yes, I did.
Did they change it? Have they since changed it? Removed the thanking?
That I don't know, but if they ever do, can't change this.
That's true.
That's why I buy physical media, folks.
I think even like the CCP media turned on it after all that. Like,
it wasn't Chinese enough for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who was that? Who was that even for? It's crazy. The committee that came up with the the terrible ideas that are in that movie. Like, that's really like shocking from like the old one.
Yeah.
That's really to take out the part of like working towards like being the best and like you already have a lot of chi. Like, that's such a conscious by committee move. That's insane.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's the intersectionalism in America outweighs the intersectionalism at the CCP because they draw the line right where men and women are equal.
Yeah, they got a word. Yeah. They have a word for white, American woke people. Like, it's like Bylong or something. Like it just means like white leftist, but it's like an insult there. Like, they don't think much of that.
No, they don't. The populace. Yeah. Hi, Ryan. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Gary. I'm doing fantastic. We just got 2 incredible teaser trailers for Zack Snyder's Justice League the past few days. We're less than 2 weeks away from that. That's one thing that I can genuinely say I am looking forward to, which is not common these days in entertainment. And I do want to give a shout out to Perry Chan for that intro. You know, speaking about not my struggle, but their struggle, the struggle of women in the 50s and 60s. You know, it's so much for them to overcome, but I do appreciate that there, Perry. Thank you very much.
Good boy.
Ryan, looking forward to something. We live in a strange timeline right now.
It's a bizarro world, Jeremy.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
That's what my second channel's for. Things I'm excited about. That's why it only has like 3,000 subscribers instead of 60.
Odin, that's a sexy shirt you got on there.
Oh, thank you. I
Look at
thought
that.
you would appreciate it very much.
Really brings out your beard.
Oh, thank you very much. And I want to give a shout out to Alex Garcia because he said in the chat, look at the balds. And I am very happy and glad and proud to be in that group.
I don't know Jeremy's status yet, so I don't know who outnumbers.
No, Jeremy's bald.
If we're talking about the internet narrative, I'm 100% bald.
Internet legend says he is 100% bald.
I am bald.
Oh,
so.
Much like this pizza, which is 100% bald, and it's delicious.
But I'm also a lot of things according to the internet, so I don't know if it's.
Oh, you mean like there's an actual thing where they go, I bet he's bald.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, God. They have just turned it in. And I'm like, first of all, is that bad? I mean, why was that even a negative thing, you know?
They're bald shaming you?
Well, honestly, his hair looks fucking so curly and stupid, he'd be better off bald.
I didn't have good hair. My hair was like burnt matches. It's better off gone.
Without naming,
I am the literal opposite of bald, but we'll just let the internet believe what it wants to believe.
If I could have a nice head of Gary hair, I would be very thankful.
Well, mine's hanging in there, buddy. That's all I can say.
Just some hanging in there hair. That's
hanging
all
in there.
It looks great for your age, Gary.
Yeah. LeBron James' hair looks pretty darn nice in that new Space Jam movie. They were able to add it digitally, I suppose.
Did they? Maybe that's what those 3 women won the Academy Award for. It was for digitally animating hair, right? The science, the women of science who do pixels. That Kathleen Kennedy was talking about.
Famous by Kathleen Kennedy. Hashtag fade in.
Oh yeah, I gotta change the title to this. Is what was it again? It was Lucasfilm Can't Stop the Ratio. Can't Stop the Ratio. That'll be changing the title of this live stream. Very soon.
I'm so happy this has become a thing on the internet now, where it's just like, let's just ratio the fuck out of Lucasfilm because they deserve it. It is beautiful, and they're not going to stop it anytime soon. Not telling you what to do, but keep doing it.
Wait, do you think that who's the guy, Bob, the one that came out to praise Kathleen Kennedy, like
J-Pick?
Isn't that probably like a? Do you think that's like probably the opposite is true? Like it seems like some fake thing to say. Like you can't.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they can't criticize a woman in Hollywood in reality, but we know that she's doing a terrible job.
That's how you have to do it. You have to criticize women in Hollywood by saying how great they are. Yeah, that's the only way.
Exactly.
It's like a code.
Yeah.
She's doing a great job.
She's doing an objectively terrible job. She's a coward. She's a front runner. She doesn't know how to lead. The only time she wants to pretend to be a leader is when things are going good, so she can front run. The second there's any controversy, she's just completely, non-existent.
Over at Lucas.
Did y'all ever watch? I know The Mandalorian's been gone for a while, or been done for a while, but have y'all ever watched the behind the scenes of The Mandalorian? Because every time she's at the table, she's completely out of her element. She has no idea what she's talking about, and it's great. It's great to watch. Actually,
she
really
nods.
I need to check that out.
Yeah.
It's people talking about the creation of The Mandalorian. That's like. She literally is out of her element. She's just someone who works on the contracts and does all these things. Yep. And she's sitting there talking to the people that are actually creating it.
Exactly. So, a non-creative talking to creative people. It's hilarious.
But the point is,
a lot of them think they are. A lot of them get in their head like, no, I am like really helping this. Like they drink their own Kool-Aid and like I've worked with a lot of a lot of people. And that's like a specific type, like the producer who thinks they are like a creative. I mean, sometimes producers are great, but that's that. Like, I'm sure she thinks she's doing like groundbreaking, and like it doesn't occur to them they don't basically like the thing. Like, if you want Luke Skywalker out, then you don't like Star Wars. That's just like a simple. Like whoever came up with that soft, like girl art style of the Star Wars book. I mean, like the look of it. If I showed it to like normie friends, they're like, "What is this?" Like, it looks like the Bratz or something.
So bad.
Well, that's what. It looks like that. What was that freaking doll line they did?
Forces of Destiny.
Forces of Destiny. Yeah.
Oh, that did well. It only buried Toys R Us. Thanks, fucking Disney. Shit. By the way, hi Odin. Thanks for eating the pizza there. And the most
you're welcome. And also, it's completely naked pizza. So when I said it's naked and bald, I meant it. It's bread basically.
This is very sexual so far. This
do the
pizza
bald
you like
drapes match the bald carpeting? I don't know.
That's how dedicated Odin is for Lent. He didn't give up pizza. He just gave up pepperoni.
Gave up pubes.
So
anyone that's ever had pepperoni on pizza knows that to take those off the pizza and not eat them is a painful experience.
Is it?
What are you talking about, Cracker?
Anyone who eats pizza will understand what I'm talking about.
Taking pepperoni off with the family and what? What is going on with you over there?
I think he's been on Lent too long.
I'm hungry. I'm delirious. It's a Friday, and yeah.
He misses Twitter.
No, I don't.
And the most above average man on the internet, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Geeks and Gamers just passed 300,000 subscribers, by the way. So congratulations, Jeremy.
I will not take this opportunity to brag about Geeks and Gamers hitting 300K. I will not take this opportunity to brag that I have a video game where I am the main character. I will not brag that we are already working on the sequel where I'm the main character. I will not brag that we have a graphic novel where I am Luke Skywalker on the cover. I will not brag that I have trading cards. I will not brag about any of that. All I'll say is fuck everybody who hates me. But in all reality, in all reality, we have a lot to talk about, and there's a lot in the works. I hope we can make an announcement this stream, but I don't know if we're going to be able to. It may have to hold off. We're kind of get some final details in line before we can make it. And trust me, if you hated me before this announcement, you're really gonna fucking hate me. Oh my god!
Well, you better tell it because I don't even know what it is.
The only people on this panel know is Ryan and Gary. We're keeping it secret because I want genuine reactions when we make the announcement. But we're still trying. There's final details, and we'll see if we can pull it all together. But yes, in all seriousness, everything's kicking ass. Geeks and Gamers. The website, the Twitch channel has been insane lately. Young Ripa is going to be starting to do content for Geeks and Gamers. Yes, young fucking Ripa is going to be on the Geeks and Gamers channel. We got so much in the works right now, and I'm so happy. And arrogance aside, I do appreciate everybody's support. It's awesome. Happy to be here for Friday Night Tights. Happy to have Kurt on, and I think we're going to be talking about a lot of shit that we don't like, but there's a couple of things going on that we do like. Yeah. Superman and Lois. I can't wait to talk about that later. Positive video. Yeah. Positive video.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so good to be here on Friday Night Tights.
And we are very happy to have the return of Kurt Metzger, comedian extraordinaire, not an employee at Disney. So not afraid to speak.
Yeah, probably. I didn't have any interviews set up, so it's probably okay.
Yeah, I mean, for now, How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm good. I got big things going on too. I got my superintendent finally got quarters, so I can do my laundry. Check in for a week. So we all got things.
Oh yeah. My wife's home, so now I got somebody to wash my socks. So things are really rolling here at the Nerdrotic household.
That's why you get married, to get those socks washed.
This is Nerdrotic. And she constantly reminds me she is not a housewife. So
did you go, I know, look at these socks.
Yes.
I can tell because I got a big fucking pile of laundry.
The dish is piling up. Come on.
Yeah, now I'm dead. But it's okay.
Done.
Sleeping on the patio tonight. Well, let's start out with WandaVision, the big finale, the big Luke Skywalker moment that we were promised by Elizabeth Olsen and then teased by Paul. I'm not going to blame Paul Bettany on this one because his joke was actually funny, what he meant, and it was on the heels of what Elizabeth Olsen said, and it was all bullshit. It's all fucking bullshit. Disney Plus is bullshit. Be happy that you canceled this garbage service that's going to give you 20 to 25 minutes of episodes of fucking nothing that are just going to be cock teases for the next movie. And they're not going to give you anything of any real substance. They're going to build up to put somebody in a costume. That's essentially what happened. A couple good things happened in the episode, but this easily could have been 3 45-minute episodes, and that's it. The sitcom stuff went on too long. All of the stuff that, and I'm guilty as anyone, I projected a bunch of stuff on this show because they were putting little Easter eggs. There's little Mephisto devil shit in the background, and apparently that's supposed to pay off in the Doctor Strange movie, but it was never meant to pay off in this show. So much so that the writer for the show was tempering expectations yesterday, and so was Paul Bettany. And at least Paul Bettany was honest enough to say, "Ooh, that was a good idea." I think he actually said that was a better idea than what we had. And yes, you, the fans, came up with better ideas again than anybody at Disney Marvel, because that's what it is. It's fucking Disney Marvel. And the MCU is here. It is here. It's established. And we're just going to have to deal with it, you know. Because,
do you think there'll be any blowback from Disney that Disney's idea was just to make Vision whiter?
Right?
That's what I was thinking, yeah. That was a bold statement, yeah.
It is from the. Actually, it's from the comics, but they made him a lot whiter and a lot more toxic there for a little while. They should just put him in a white beater.
I crushed a woman's skull. So
I have not watched it since Gina got fired. So did I make a good decision in not continuing the show? Because it sounds like I did. Yeah. Universally, it seems like no one was really happy with how this thing finished. So.
I didn't even get into it. I just watched people talking about it because it seemed like it was going to be that sitcom bullshit for
It's like 3 or 4 episodes of that.
We get it. We get it. Sitcoms were it was supposed to be.
I found it interesting, for those first few episodes, even though, obviously I felt that there was something more going on and I was kind of interested to see where it would go. And then as it started opening up a little bit, I did have a level of interest. There's no doubt about that. And more of my level of interest was, I guess, optimism as to where it's going. But now that we're finished, and it just seems like most people really did not like that ending or how it ended up. Now, did it end the series or are we still going to continue? Because again, I don't know.
Over. Series is over. They are not going to do a season 2, which tells you it wasn't that successful, because even if that was their plan to only do one, if it was really successful, like it brought hundreds of thousands of subs to Disney Plus, they would fucking do a season 2. Damn straight they would do a season 2. So, yeah, I don't think it was as successful as like The Mandalorian and a Luke Skywalker return. And I think a lot of bullshit was put out there by Disney, and they just kind of let it happen. And, they can't control some of it. That's admittedly. But nothing happened. Like, it just set up a movie that's not going to be out for 2 years.
Yeah, this was
one I can't give a shit about.
Yeah,
fucking Marvel too. Fuck off.
Well, I was talking in the beginning of this that I feel like we were putting a lot on this because this was never supposed to be like this big, huge thing, but it turned out that way because of COVID, because of the pandemic and everything getting pushed. This became like the next thing for Marvel when I don't think it was really ever supposed to be that. It was just supposed to be a little goofy thing. That all of a sudden got tons of expectations because of everything else getting pushed. I said from the beginning, I thought it felt stretched out. I thought the sitcom stuff was going on too long. I didn't really, I wasn't as into it as most people. And it turns out that it's just kind of.
I do not like saying Ryan was right, but Ryan was right. I don't fucking like saying that. So fuck that motherfucker, but he was right.
Well,
I think they made a massive misstep. The massive misstep came with the Evan Peters reveal at the end of
I heard about that too.
And it was it essentially gave the audience the wrong idea about what the show was going to do. Not subvert the expectations of the viewer, but literally just complete out and out lie to mislead them, because you bring in the Quicksilver from another universe. You bring it from the Fox, from the Fox universe, and you put it into your show, and so it looks very much like you are beginning to integrate the other Marvel characters which were over at Fox into your franchise. You have them teasing around for a bit, and then in the final episode you say, "Oh no, his name's what? Fucking Erection, Gary Erection,
Ralph Boner, Ralph Boner.
Is that really the name?
His name's actually Ralph Boner, and he's got nothing to do with any other franchise or any other universe. He's just a guy that looks like the Quicksilver from the other universe, and only we know that as the viewer. They don't know that. So it was a complete mislead. And poorly done, because then when we're all expecting, you know, other little Easter eggs or other little characters maybe to filter in. And then the final episode is fucking Monica Rambeau literally stood in the background waiting for her line like this. Monica, it's your line now. Oh, well done. Elizabeth. And then she can just fucking stand at the back again and do fuck all.
What can I ask you? What was the promise? I knew the thing that, you know, what's his name? The guy who plays Vision said, but what was like the Luke Skywalker kind of thing she's...
Oh, him being White Vision.
I don't like, so Wanda or Elizabeth Olsen said that there is a Luke Skywalker like cameo in this. It turns out I think that she was probably talking about Pietro, talking about Evan Peters at this point.
Yeah, she's talking about John Boner, probably.
She said it before that, but after that reveal is when Paul Bettany went out and said, there's been a lot of things leaked, but there's still something coming, like a huge thing. And he was making a joke. People took it and ran with it, but I feel like he should have said something before this, that like you guys really took this out of context or whatever. But they let the hype ramp up because they wanted the hype for this show to be massive, and people oversold it. People gave more credit to Kevin Feige and to Marvel than they have deserved. And we all got way amped up and excited about this, when at the end of the day, it just let us down. And they are the ones, like, you're right, Az. This was a direct mislead, because it's not like we, the audience, made the assumption that this must be the Quicksilver from then. That's not true. The descriptive fucking audio for that episode, when you listen to it, it says Pietro as he appears in the X-Men Marvel films as Quicksilver. Like, they said that in the descriptive audio. These motherfuckers subverted your expectations intentionally.
They lied.
Once again.
They lied. Yes. And right, exactly. I mean, this is the same big lie bullshit that they were doing with Disney Star Wars. And, you know, there's emotional blackmail marketing. There's virtue signal marketing. There's, just straight up fucking lying now. They're out there lying in public. I mean, something weird happened yesterday on Twitter, right? So Tom Holland came out and said, no, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are not going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. And then Twitter came out and
confirmed it almost. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But that's already been that report has been out there for a long time, essentially confirmed. The only thing we don't know it's confirmed is if Toby's
how do we
actually
know now?
or not.
Like the creator for this show said that in the Bounding into Comics article, he said, we got to temper the expectations, but he or she, whoever it was, said specifically that the stuff we're talking about, some of it will be set up in Doctor Strange. I don't fucking care. Maybe Captain Marvel. And yeah, that's the movie they ended up setting up, is Captain Marvel fucking 2. Captain fucking Marvel 2 with the stupid peaceful scrolls. And, we'll
the
go
Skrulls played by a gender amorphous person of color at the end, yeah.
Oh, the Skrulls came into this one? I didn't see the last episode.
Monica Rambeau is a fucking retard. She's literally going around.
Don't give away the tagline of the movie.
It's okay that Scarlet Witch went and kidnapped hundreds of fucking people for months, or however long it was, and mind meld fucked them so they thought they were in her show, and all this kind of stuff. Because
can a powerful woman succeed as?
Can a what?
Can a powerful woman succeed? Yeah. No, that's what that was the fucking message. The message is, it doesn't matter if this powerful woman, kidnapped 1,000 people. It doesn't matter that she only gave him a little crack to run through. And when one mom said, "Can I let my 8-year-old out of her room, who's been in her room this whole fucking time?" So that one got trapped there for some reason. Forget the fucking kids.
But when a man does it, you think it's great. So,
well, it's totally fine.
Everybody loves when a man's a psychopath.
Yeah,
everyone loves it.
The guy this week, he's been a bit of a dick, but he's been doing his job for like 8 episodes, and then this week he's just like, I want to kill Skull. Wait,
I thought they set it up that he was kind of bad the whole time. Am I?
No, he was doing.
This is from not watching it. Just some reason.
Like if you were in a military organization like he is in SWORD, it's a militaristic organization. He was doing things by protocol. When there was a gap in the wall, they got soldiers there to see what was coming through. They're dealing with
the whole damn system is wrong.
Well, they did try to kill her.
The whole damn system is wrong.
Rebuilding Vision was the right thing to do. It was absolutely the right thing to do. They just got attacked by fucking Thanos, and there's a million other Thanoses out there, and they know that.
Yeah.
So to weaponize
and they had to make
SWORD,
them white for the Chinese market.
and they did.
Oh no, we saying yellow vision. Okay, don't worry, but don't.
Did they subvert China's expectations?
But like, and, even though like some of his actions, you could definitely make arguments as to why this is why I would do this maybe differently. It wasn't like he was violating protocol or doing anything super bad, but that is the way they portrayed. Oh, what the fuck?
What the hell is this?
I've been talking to a girl online, and we've been swapping messages back and forth, and I thought I'd just show you guys a video and see what you thought of her, see whether or not you think we're compatible.
I think it's dangerous to stand there in traffic like that.
Holy shit! What?
No, you did that. Now you're going to jail. Now you're going to jail. That's not our problem.
Whoa!
Let her run.
Did somebody send her a German keyboard?
I want to see her fall.
She can move when she wants.
What was she mad about?
I think she's hungry.
Someone wasn't wearing a mask, so that's what I was thinking.
Is that what that was?
I think she was mad because she couldn't find a bra for Fupa. I believe that's why she's so upset.
Well, I say if you were willing to fist fight a bus, that's a powerful one.
I would say that's a go. As that's a
she is
go.
probably in the bus's weight class.
Look at that.
I feel like that's a visual representation of every person that Young Ripper replies to on Twitter, right there.
She fucking flew through that bus like it was a Kree starship. She took off her Captain Marvel limiter and went.
Time to be powerful.
Time to be powerful.
Why do they talk like that shitty boy king from Game of Thrones? Where you're like,
oh man,
if you have to say you're powerful, you're not powerful.
Yeah. No, that's how people. Well, that's how the writers' room in Hollywood, they unironically talk like that. They're, let's write some fierce women today.
They didn't used to. I kind of saw that whole turnover.
Ryan, show this hand sanitizer cam real quick.
Oh yeah.
And I ain't done with WandaVision. We're gonna get back to that. Trust me. I'm so far done with that one.
This just shows you the lack of self-awareness of these people. They're so concerned with pushing their nonsense, and they don't even think about the context of what's going on. Oh man, this is good. This is like.
Oh boy.
This is from Clay Travis. Whoever greenlit the Milwaukee Bucks hand sanitizer cam either watches porn all day long or has never watched any porn. I can't decide which.
I think it's B. I think it's B.
That's hilarious, dude.
He knows.
Come on.
Oh, it's wow.
Oh.
Somebody must know. Somebody slipped that by. There's no way.
She knew. This one knew. This one knew exactly what was.
She was probably mumbling like, "Are you kidding me?"
Right on her titties.
This person has never fucked anyone in their lives. It's why. Look at that! Hey,
look, it's the hand sanitizer.
Hey, that's me on a Saturday night. Yeah.
I have to hand sanitize my dick a lot.
Oh my god.
Oh dear goodness.
They had to know. Somebody like slipped that by somebody else 100%.
Someone had to approve that. That's the thing. Someone had to approve.
that got by multiple stages of approval. That's the best part.
Yeah.
That's the best
Jeez.
part.
Oh boy.
I got a leftover.
Now we get me, dude.
Those are the people making decisions for our entertainment right there. So,
well, they always sucked at it, but just now they let in all these like the High Sparrow and shit. So
yeah,
now these people have the obligation. Like Cersei handled business and blew them up. Like now it's up to the people that let this cult in.
Well, the cult wants everybody to do the walk of shame now, and it still won't be good enough. So this is left over from my last live stream. $100 super chat from WG says, "Hail Gary, I think you're being a little too hard on Disney's No Jackass Left Behind program. Struggling wokesters would have no opportunities to act in a normal entertainment market without this. Simply booger-eating morons need to act too. Next burrito is on me." Thank you, WG, for the $100. And you're not wrong. I'm being very insensitive to the untalented wokesters out there who are not actors; they're activists. And that covers the action.
In fairness, a lot of talented actors are also like dumb as shit. Like,
yes,
it wasn't like a genius.
Yeah, who was it that said that actors aren't smart?
Is it Anthony?
Anthony Hopkins.
Smart. He goes, yeah. Nobody wants to hear me talk about Paul. I'm a dumbass actor. Like,
yep.
That's the smartest actor thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Why'd you go to these people of the moral compass of a fucking Caligula, for Christ's sake? and you're looking at them for fucking moral guidance and for whatever, various cause that I just want to say that please don't chop down trees. Trees are really good for the environment. By the way, I'm really sorry for raping those 6 women, but don't cut down these trees, because those trees...
Is that a British politician? Who?
That's fucking Hollywood at the minute.
Who is the tree-loving rapist of England?
Well, was it...
skeletons in the closets, and they're all doing all kinds of fucking...
Yeah, but you're right, yeah.
Army Hammer's on a soapbox, and, he eats people.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
What's he eating on it?
He does that spirit cooking stuff. Been part of, his family's billionaires and stuff. So yeah, I doubt he's in touch with reality very much. George Mahalo, by the way. Oh boy, I just lost that one. There it goes. George Mahalo for $99.99 says, "Since I've been gone a while, have to make it up. Bill Burr could be legendary if his balls completely dropped to take on the twat that is Kennedy. Just blow the whole thing wide open and he'd be a legend. Could return comedy to America if he does it in his unique way." Yeah, I said it on that live stream that, I can't judge Bill Burr. He makes his own decisions. It's easy for me to sit in this office surrounded by my plastic pals and say, you should have stood up for Gina Carano. But I think his brand of comedy, it would have helped him. It probably would have hurt him. He probably would have never worked for Disney again, but he would have been leveled up to legendary status, speaking truth to power and calling out the PC stuff. And I think he missed an opportunity to, it would have been, it depends on what he wants. If he wants to do these, I basically said he ensured he's going to be probably the Tim Conway of his era. He might guest star in a couple movies here and there. Let's face it, Bill Burr's a talented comedian. Not sure how much of a talented actor he is, but he's funny as shit.
I thought he was great in that scene from Mandalorian. I fucking texted him about it where he stares at the war crime guy and I thought it was great.
I really loved how he really humanized all the stormtroopers right before he blew them all to shit. That was awesome.
but yeah, he was still Bill Burr in that scene. He was a great Bill Burr in that.
He was good.
Yeah, I don't see him taking on a serious role or anything.
Well, also Bill's not he wasn't a guy that's into. I don't know if you know how it is growing up in Boston, but you grow up with no imagination. You only can like sports and none of that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
it's a thing. He gets to act that scene I thought was great. So he gets to do acting on a thing it's not his passion. If they totally ruin Star Wars, it's not going to break his heart like it's going to break your heart. It's a very awkward. Everybody I talk to is 100% lives in some kind of fear of their, and he's got a production company and stuff that they're trying to get off the grass. So there's all these it's the more you have going on, the more that could be held over you.
Yeah.
Chappelle, honestly, Now I get it 100%. At the time, I didn't get why Chappelle ran to South Africa, and I get it 100% now. Like, that's how he could still be Chappelle.
Yep.
When everybody else has to tiptoe around this stuff.
He decided to be free, and that's essentially what Gina did too. I mean, she said, okay, I'm going to fuck off these roles, but now I can be me. I could be my own brand, do whatever the fuck I want, and she's going to financially be fine now from here on out. And Burr could have done that too. I think he had an opportunity to do it, but again, it's easy for me to say, and he's got other. For one, Bill Burr's production company should have nothing to fucking do with Disney. Disney should have no say over his production company, but apparently they do.
Well, it's so other deals you have, if let's say you get in trouble at Disney or something, like that spreads to other shit. Like you could ruin, like I've been through it. Like you could, and people that want to work with you will be like, oh, I'm afraid I'll get in trouble. Like
yeah.
It's like blacklist time. So like I don't know. And if you think about it, like him just talking about it, what amount he did, the amount of like videos and kind of press things that generated, where either people are like, oh good, he's against it, or what, he's against it. Like the thing that wasn't almost non-committal of like, I just liked her, she's a nice person, that causes all this fucking chatter just saying that.
Yep.
If you got a busy day, you might not want to have to deal with that shit. It's like, it's a lot. Like, and people will try to affect everything you do. People will try to affect it. Like live shows, people try to get you canceled from that. It's really fucked up. It's why it's bad how much they gaslight about it.
And that's why I said earlier, like when on my video, when is just common sense and reality and logic going to start taking precedent over this nonsense? People have to stop apologizing. People have to stop being scared. We're talking about a small minority group of people that are on Twitter, and it's just ridiculous. And I am glad that every time I go to a Star Wars video on their YouTube channel, I see nothing but quotes from Gina Carano. I'm glad that they are they're aware of it too. I'm not sure what this Instagram thing that happened. I saw people talking about it in the chat. We were talking about it a little bit earlier. If we confirm that did happen though, about
100%.
so that now they're scared to post to it.
This should be like a thing that people stick up, because that was like, I was blown away when I read the tweet. I'm like, oh, what did she say? And I'm like, I don't even understand what the fuck they're talking about. She says 100% accurate. Like, it's not even, you don't know history. No, historically, that is what happened.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like,
by the way,
how dare you? That's so incorrect. What a terrible comparison.
The people that I mean, it was because of that bleep blah bloop. That's what it's really about. But the people that said this shit have been, I mean, throwing that stuff around for like 5 years. In fact, since I've been alive, everybody you don't like has been called the bad mustache man.
Yes.
So it's just the hypocrisy of that. Like, the drop of a hat, they'll say, remind people of like these tragic events. I don't know how to not say it. I'm trying to like.
Ryan made a video.
Nazis for 4 years now. Just for saying we don't like Star Wars. We don't like The Last Jedi. Oh, you're a Yahtzee. Gina Carano comes out with an analogy. Oh, pearl clutching time. Like Young Ripper just did the best fucking reaction to it. But it's just fake ass fucking pearl clutching bitches.
That's all it is.
It's also like
another.
They just invent shit that doesn't happen. They invent reasons to be the victims. They invent things just like
because it's mostly rich kids. I mean, that's what it mostly is.
Absolutely.
So
and it's just like
time for that.
with the announcement of like Texas with the mask rule, people are tweeting, I will not remove my mask. No fucking body said you had to remove it. Not one fucking person said that. Why do they keep inventing shit that doesn't exist? You don't like a movie because it has women. When did I say that? When did anyone say that? Can you actually say they just
what
invent?
You say doesn't matter.
Exactly. They just invent it.
I already learned that I already know what I think about you, and everything that you say will be held against you in a court of douchebag.
And then like with the Gina post, literally the words are there, and they invented words that they wanted to be there, and then they said that she said it, and then they just ran with it. It's literally there for you to read. Those words were not in the post, but it doesn't matter.
The press now are like, people say shills. I mean, the shill doesn't even describe it. Like, they're completely, any kind of real news stuff is not even going to be done by them. This kind of bullshit is what they love because it's cheap. It's cheap to produce, And then
Yes.
they don't have to pay good people. Like all these new journalists that do this are fucking terrible. They're not real journalists. They ran all them out. It was back when Gawker got big around that time. That's when you started seeing everything became like Queenie gossip instead of like some kind of news. So now, and it goes not just start anything like politics. You're supposed to only care about a personality that you project on, and never mind what they actually do. You're like, oh, but it's a woman, and you're supposed to feel like you're like that represents you in some way, whether it does or not, or if they're firing a woman for being outspoken.
Yeah. It's just Dan Bask, who's in the chat, just said it best. But whatever you say, someone's going to hate you for it. So you might as well say what you think and have a clear conscience.
Yep.
And that's it. Fuck them. Fuck them. And don't apologize. Don't apologize for other people's feelings. Fuck you and your feelings. If your feelings are hurt, that's something you need to work out. It's not my business. It has nothing to do with me.
I wouldn't even say, because I have people say like if somebody's like, hey, that really hurt my feelings, what you said, like I would probably be like, oh, I'm really sorry. That's not, the feelings aren't hurt. It's ooh, opportunity. I'm gonna get my name for fucking attaching it to your name. So there's no like feeling. They don't even have those kind of feelings. There's just one feeling, which is like the joy of trying to wreck somebody's shit because you don't like yourself.
They're getting offended for other people. Their feelings aren't hurt. They're putting this shit on other people, on this marginalized community. How dare you do that to them?
Mm-hmm.
I'm an ally. Look at me. That's the garbage.
I don't even think they think about other people at all. I think it's purely, you know, since most of this shit is like class, and now it's like, you know, if you're like a Democrat, that's like a rich people party. So all this identity shit, like some CEO telling you that you're more powerful than her is what they get out of it. Like you get to not have any of that shit examined, and you get to make it just about like your, you know, if it favors whatever group you fall in. That's why they like it.
Or whatever group you pretend to use. I mean, that's all it is. They don't care.
Yeah, did you see the what was that thing, the you know, the minimum wage that because the parliamentarian, I don't even know what that is, but the parliamentarian, and they go, and I see this op-ed that said, this is good for the party. I'm like, wow, there you have it. Like, that's what it's all about. Like, helping the party. They don't give a rat's ass about you. What do you matter?
Yep.
A guy who needs $15 an hour, go fuck yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, just like the whole thing, like I think everybody has been in a real life situation with someone. Like, for instance, if I and many times when I would work retail, if some new person starts and I'm over there just saying F this and F that and F this person, and then I kind of start noticing this person doesn't really cuss a lot when I'm talking to them. Then I'll be like, hey man, are you like, do you like cuss
or something or
yeah.
what?
Wait, what retail did you work at?
I worked in grocery stores, you know, so like Food World, Winn-Dixie, Publix. I worked at Home Depot for several years. Forklift driver. I can fuck anybody up on a forklift. I can outdrive anybody on a forklift. That's just a fact, okay?
You could take that fat chick in the street. She pull that bus move with a forklift.
But you know, so if you meet someone, you're like, you know, okay, my bad. I didn't realize you don't cuss or you don't. So I try not to use that language around someone. Like, I'll respect an individual on an individual level. I am not going to stop being myself because some random person on Twitter with 3 followers and a brand new account with no avatar claimed that they're offended by what I said. Fuck that noise. This is absolutely nonsense. And we continue to see it just gets worse and worse. This whole Dr. Seuss thing, you know, what's the latest, the Harry Potter developer, you know, for having a controversial YouTube channel, which essentially means opinions we don't agree with. We are in la la land.
The guy who I saw that guy.
But Troy Levitt, how dare you have a measured analytical take on identity politics in games?
How dare you? You're not allowed to have that.
They're not offended. They are mad that you have taken the piss out of their ideology. So that's what they're all butthurt about. They don't care. They don't give a shit. I mean,
dude, even they is a strong word because not very many people. It's really an outsized influence for a small. It's mostly just like scared people who have stuff to lose that they've demonstrated could be taken away from you at a win, and that's most of the bulk of it is just that. So, you know, hopefully, like now that the bad man is gone from office. Now that those people, like the cowards, I guess, will stop placating this maniac crap because that's why it grew so bad. It was around before, you know, Trump got in. It was around way before that. But that's when regular people Like I would say I'm just a regular. I was like a regular liberal, right? Like the people aren't into that are professionals and shit. Like they kowtow to it because it's like, oh, it's like we're in a war, like the war on terror. What are you going to talk bad about our army during wartime?
Yeah.
Hi, Rainer. How you doing?
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a lot of people that want to challenge me to forklift driving. I'm down. Bring that shit on,
You
man.
guys play Fork Night?
Forklift night.
Who plays Fortnite here?
I think that fat chick in the street lifts forks too, but not the same one.
I think all of this has hurt Disney. I mean, how much we'll never know. It's not going to cripple them or end their company.
Because they cook their books. That's why.
Yeah. I mean, how in the fuck is their stock doing well at all? At all? It's not. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Let's just call it for what it is.
They're faking it. There's a lawsuit against them, isn't there?
Yeah.
From faking all like their.
Jeremy, you're around Disney World. I mean, Drunk goes there like every day. Like, is the place full? Is it packed?
Well, they're still have a limited capacity, so to speak. So they're not. But like I know, like Universal, he was there today, and the numbers were really good. But Disney World's always going to be busy. It's just the numbers are insane that they have there. These people it's the general public. The only issue that Disney has right now is market share, and Universal is eating into their market share. This is a pre-beer bug, but like the Wizarding World of Harry Potter
they got better
really
shit
hurt.
there.
But
the Wizarding World of Harry Potter hurt Disney significantly from a market share standpoint, and that's really that's what they worry about. Overall numbers, like any random person, once things are normal, nobody's gonna look at Disney World and think that no one's there. The people just come in by
unless they drop the passes like they're planning on doing, right?
Well, yeah, but one of Disney World's biggest problems is
for a year. There's been no Disneyland for. I mean, it's no Disney World, but like they still make a lot of money off of Disneyland. And I mean that being gone for a year, and I mean, there's no way their stock could still be good.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, and look, at the end of the day, Disney World is far more focused on their international tourism. It's what pushes their numbers, and I'm sure that's causing a huge problem for them too. So it's really hard to gauge how exactly they are or aren't, because Disneyland is more about the local tourism. Disney World is more about international tourism.
Yeah, it's like you looked at every area.
They're playing the cup game. That's what is going on right now. They literally went to an investor meeting like 2 quarters ago and were like, all right, well, we've lost X billions of dollars because the parks are underperforming right now. But we are releasing Mulan on Disney Plus, and we're going to charge people $30 a pop for it. Stock rises. That underperforms. That fucking bombs. They say, hey, we know that bomb, but look what we got planned for Disney Plus over the next several years. Stock rises again. Like it is this strategy that they have to put on this good face, when in reality they are losing money hand over fist.
I'm glad you mentioned movies too, because even if they somehow claim that they did well with Mulan, which again we know they didn't, they have to contend with the fact that Soul, even though I thought it was a very good film, theatrically it's at negative $182 million. You go back to Onward, which got hit at the very beginning of the pandemic, negative $220 million. So you have a lot of movies that did not make their money back. And so the question is, where in the hell are they making any money? And there really don't seem to be many answers.
It's true. Comics is here, by the way, Gary.
Thank you. Gaming, the fucking the PPP money and all the other assistance money. That's how they're fucking making their money. Sorry.
Did they get PPP money?
Yeah, they got PP money. Well, fuck yeah, all the corporations got PPP money.
I get PP money.
I want PP money.
And we got PP'd on. They got the PPP money, and we got PP'd on.
Yeah, that's great.
Normally I have to pay for it. Now they pay you.
Those checks are going right out.
What's up, everyone?
What up, man?
Hi, comic.
How you doing, Az?
I'm doing good.
All right.
Sound like you said, I'm doing good.
I gotta look down today. Hi.
Well, hi, comics. Well, how was your day?
It was fantastic, Gary. How was yours?
Well, I'm so far so good. I'm kind of doing a live stream right now with my friends. Just wondering,
Really, I had no idea. Wow. Impressive. Good job.
Yeah, it's a little show called Friday Night.
Didn't Disney say that this morning because of the WandaVision finale. It crashed their site because so many people
bullshit
were trying to watch WandaVision.
Right? So many people canceled at once. Our system overloaded.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I would. Well, they have Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is going to be a study in racism in the MCU.
It is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They announced that. They announced this before. They announced this before all the Minneapolis shit.
Oh Lord.
Like, yeah.
No, this was their plan all along, and it's going to be about America not really accepting Falcon as Captain America because he's not, because Steve Rogers is Captain America.
They already done this. They did this in the fucking comic book. Why?
It's
why
because
are we
he's
getting repeat?
black.
You know,
that's because his name's not Steve Rogers.
Did you watch Cage when it came out, right, on Netflix?
Yep, I did.
Cage.
Yep.
Okay, so the first season, I mean, it was stretched out too long, but I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
I did too.
The first 4 episodes are great.
And when I liked it, I was like, oh, this is like Black Superman. Like whatever you were trying to do a message with of like, what if Superman was black? Like, this is it. So like now the that's just gonna erase like an original thing that's way better to make like the the Disney princess version.
No, why not adapt Cage as a film? The reason they don't do it is because they're full of fucking shit and they know it wouldn't make that much money. They went to the well with Black Panther, which was a cultural phenomenon. It absolutely was. Some of Disney's best marketing, some of the best marketing I've ever seen for a film, giving it $1 billion for like a 7 out of 10 film. I remember Jeremy gave it an 8 out of 10 and was called a racist for it. Obviously.
You were?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It was an okay movie. That's the thing that pisses me off about it.
It was a 6 or 7. Yeah,
it's a B- movie.
There's a lot of dumb shit,
but
like
there is.
I liked it better when it was called Coming to America.
Oh yeah,
by the way,
that's a great movie right there, man.
So back to like, you're right. They have characters, DC has characters that they can build up from scratch, and they don't do it because they really love identity. The identitarians, cancel culture, they love scalps. That's all they want. They like just taking things and then moving on to the next thing. You're
talking about like the SJW influence on the
yes, yeah,
right, okay, right.
Plus they have to control everything too. Like imagine a Luke Cage film given to someone with full creative control, like and someone who actually is passionate about the source material. It could be awesome. It could be a rated R film. They could make millions of they could make so much money off of it, but because they couldn't control it, nope, can't have it happen.
And there's different types of like woke. I mean, we have the all-encompassing woke, but there's intersectional feminism, which is what WandaVision was. WandaVision wasn't really woke. It was intersectional as hell.
It was?
It was.
Wait, how? How is it intersectional?
Intersectional where the only white male is portrayed as evil. All male are portrayed as weak. Even in the finale, you had the Vision. And what they do is they reverse the roles. So they put the male role into the feminine role. So the Vision was like covering the children towards the end with the big sky battle.
They did that in the Watchmen thing on HBO.
They did.
Dude, Watchmen was the most intersectional.
The army guy gives his rifle to his wife and carries the baby.
Yeah.
That's intersectionalism. That is straight up intersectionalism. It makes no fucking sense in the real world except if you're an academic and you planned everything out. But like a few episodes ago when I was like a little excited for WandaVision because I'm a fucking fan. I'm a nerd. That's what I do. I went out and I'm like, I want to watch all the Marvel like movies again. So I got my Mondo covers of, the good Marvel, phase 1, right? And they're all still in plastic because I don't give a fuck anymore.
I call.
Ever since Gina Carano and the complete shit show that is WandaVision. And they were on the right path, but they never intended of following through on that. This is Captain Marvel 2 is what the MCU is going to be from now on. Period.
I hope it flops big. I want it to be the biggest flop of all time.
I heard that it was a whole strategy actually to get Gina Carano fired so she could come to Marvel. That was for Captain Marvel 2. That's what I heard.
What?
Well, I mean,
where was that?
Personally,
we got this covered.
QAnon level stuff right there, man.
No, they fired her so they could rehire her.
Correct. Oh, that was it.
I personally am
like the James Gunn thing where he like comes back.
Yeah.
No, but they were gonna fire her so they could immediately rehire her.
I personally am looking forward to Captain Marvel 2 simply because I look forward to 300,000 more subscribers to my channel.
And 300,000 more videos.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
Was anybody who you know, like, it's weird to think of Captain Marvel. Somebody was like disappointed in it because I never fucking really heard of Captain Marvel or gave a shit. Like, it wasn't nothing to be disappointing because I was like, who cares about Captain? Like,
she's not a character that anybody cares about. That's why all her books fucking get canceled.
There's not a popularity that I don't know about with this character.
There
right?
is none.
It's just like.
Yeah, there is none. They keep pushing her. They want her to be the next Spider-Man, but it never happens because the character is just annoying as hell. Poorly written,
I thought you were
poorly
going to say because
drawn.
Spider-Man has a way better ass.
Yeah, Spider-Man has a way better ass. Yeah.
Though Spider-Man does have a smaller dick.
Well, compared to Captain Marvel, yeah.
She's Poochie.
No, well, see, back in the 70s when they introduced Miss Marvel, who was a derivative of Captain Marvel, they kind of wanted her to be the because, you know, even back then, Marvel was like, we don't have a Wonder Woman. We need a Wonder Woman. And what happened was the comic didn't sell, so they gave up on the idea, kept the character around, threw her in the Avengers, and she, you know, was an okay character in the Avengers. She was mostly known for dying and being drunk. Not
which version though? Like, what was the character's
Danvers.
name?
This is the original Carol Danvers character.
Okay.
Is she the one that turned into the girl thing, or is that a different? Remember, there was
you're
like
thinking of Marvel? Are you thinking of Marvel?
No, there was like a female, like I thought her name was like Miss Marvel, and then she became like Ben Grimm's girlfriend. Then she got turned into a female thing.
Yeah, Miss Thing.
I swear to God, her name was Marvel or something.
Yeah, she was a Miss Marvel at one point too. Yes,
Sharon Ventura. That's the
and yes, there's been multiple, and there's been multiple Captain Marvels, and they've tried multiple times. And
how much more? Because I kept like the thing I always hear, because obviously I'm not a comics person, is that the Monica Rambeau version was the most successful of the iteration.
As far as female Captain Marvels, yes.
Captain Marvels,
yes,
yeah.
I would say she was most successful because she was in the Avengers, and this was back in the 80s, and the book was selling like crazy. I mean, comics were selling like crazy back then. They would sell in the hundreds of thousands. As a matter of fact, if they got under 100,000 or a couple 100,000 in sales, they'd be canceled.
But you said the 80s. I didn't know that Black Heroes existed back in the 80s.
They did. They
existed all the way back to the 60s.
They never saved black people, though. That I know.
Yeah.
I think you guys are lying. Black Panther's the first black superhero. That was the first black superhero movie ever, and Captain Marvel was the first female. Captain Marvel, at first, it was the first female superhero, and then it moved into where it was the first movie that a female was even allowed to speak in, according to the media narrative. So I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Is that like a personal attack, or
fucking disrespect to Blade?
Oh, I know, dude.
Black Panther, like, just like forget all about Blade, which was the first like Marvel like successful thing that I remember that was awesome when it came out.
Oh, it was fantastic.
They didn't release it. They didn't release it in February though, so that one doesn't count.
Oh, there you go. You're right. You're right.
A friend of mine was friends with him when they were making part 3. You know, when he was supposedly like being a dick, but like they were trying to push him out of his his property. Imagine if he did with the Black Panther. I mean, rest in peace. But imagine if that was a thing. The studio starts pushing him out of his own movie to push Ryan Reynolds and Justin Timberlake's wife.
Oh, if Wesley Snipes wanted to cancel a bunch of people, he could. Because a friend of mine was his lawyer.
They're trying to turn it into Blade the High School Musical. He's
your friend wasn't. Your friend didn't have to be his accountant, was he?
Yeah.
No, I hope not. Okay, all right.
My friend was his lawyer. For his IP lawyer, not his defense attorney. Okay. And while he was going through all that shit, David S. Goyer was a punk. Was a total punk. Would film scenes without him. And remember, Wesley Snipes was the producer on the fucking movie. Like, he had creative
that's
control.
like a black guy getting pushed out of the property he fucking made great.
Yep.
Which is like crazy.
And David S. Goyer went above his head, and management screwed him over. And and then they were taking. He also had the tax thing going on in the background, so it was.
I was going to say Wesley Snipes
said after that, credibility a little bit.
I'm going to pay my taxes.
But one had nothing to do with the other, to be honest with you, and he was getting fucked over by again David S. for piece of shit.
What else?
Goyer.
What else did he do? I know he did. He did like. What else did he direct again?
Goyer. Goyer, he wrote Krypton, the fucking shitty fucking series on
Are you
Sci-Fi.
serious? He did that movie? I mean, that series?
He produced Krypton.
What did he do?
Krypton.
Say it again.
He did Batman Begins as well.
Oh, he's making a Hellraiser movie now.
Well, yeah. Well, he was involved with Begins and Dark Knight. We all know he didn't. Without Nolan,
He's got credits on a bunch of things that Chris Nolan's involved in.
He directed Blade Trinity.
I thought he did something that I did like, though. Am I wrong?
Dark Knight?
Yeah, he's been involved in stuff, but it's never
Dark City
stuff he's done alone. He's always been with better people, and I'm sure all he was there for Nolan was to maybe because he knows about comics, so he probably threw some comic knowledge at Nolan.
He did the screenplay for Jumper. That must be it. Hayden Christensen's Jumper.
I read that book as a kid, Jumper, and then I watched it. Like, boy, Hayden Christensen is just charisma free.
And they're like, hey, you don't listen. Remember what George said? Just fucking forget about it. Do something.
You never know, too, like whose fault. Because didn't when Wonder Woman, the new one, was stupid? Like, how much of that was? And I know the first one was written by Zack Snyder, so maybe that was a bit better. But there probably was a lot of studio. It could be an excuse on the part of the director, but I'll bet you there was a ton of studio nonsense interference that added stupid. Because some of those parts
Warner Brothers is fucking famous for it now, except for James Gunn, who said I had no studio interference whatsoever.
Yeah, if you made $1 jillion on something, you would think they would give you. That's why I'm surprised because Wonder Woman did really well for them, right? I would think they would have given them more leeway to do.
Well, they made it all about Patty Jenkins. They made it all about Patty Jenkins, and it was like, oh, Patty, this is incredible. Patty's the future. They're like, is Warner Brothers going to give Patty a Superman movie? And it's like, all of that based off of Wonder Woman, supported by all the lore and all the support of Zack and Deborah Snyder helping out with that. And it's not to say that, she didn't do a great job directing, but to then give her full responsibility for something that she's never done. Okay, you can tell me, yeah, she did everything for this movie released in 2004 that was like a $6 million budget. It's not the same fucking thing.
It's probably a publicist, they have people get a because all that marketing, especially if you're any good at it, I would never want to be. If I was like Patty Jenkins, I would never be like, oh, a woman could do something. Isn't that amazing? What? I would never want to be marketed that way. But that's that's how everybody markets shit now. They hire
pretty much, man.
And every shitty publicist, that's what they push is that nonsense. Because that's the demographic, by the way, of girl who thinks like that. Is they become publicists and they love that shallow, really racist nonsense.
Yeah.
Because that's their whole world.
Times are changing. Ladies can do stuff now.
Including lose $200 million for Warner Brothers,
including fail apparently.
Oh, that should be a tagline on Wonder Woman. Ladies can do stuff now.
Ladies can do stuff now.
Oh,
where we are.
Fucking YouTube. Fucking YouTube. God, the infrastructure on this platform has gone to shit. They need Twitch to level up again so they actually do something. Remember when Twitch showed a little competition? And they're like, hey, we can do stuff too.
Yeah, well, Twitch was too busy doing their women X. Oh my god.
Animal
that's the most empowering gamer-based pornography on the market. That is the most beautiful corporate way of we push women. They're just shaking their tits on a video game to kids.
There was just a video. I don't know if quartering tweet or something. It was just chicks sitting there just tits hanging all out, just licking things.
Really?
That's what they were doing. They were licking things.
Well, Fortnite gets pretty intense, so I get it.
Let's see if I can find that.
Oh, man.
And they're the ones that get offended when the word thought is thrown around.
Well, we got $100.
Bannable offense, man.
We got $100 super chat.
They want to be known as whores, not thoughts. They want to just be proper.
We got $100 super chat from Wazapalooza the Drunk. So I might have missed it, but how do you feel about the producers finally and probably paying homage to the Mortal Kombat franchise because the 90s movies never did them justice? As far as the trailer is concerned, we haven't talked about it tonight, but I thought the trailer was good, and I know shit about that game. So
that first 90s film was amazing, by the way.
I liked it. It was
fun.
I disagree with the first one. I mean, look, I like both of them, but I acknowledge the second one's bad. But I like it for nostalgia reasons.
Bad is not a strong enough word.
Yeah,
Too
I know.
bad
It's fucking awful. But the first one did honor the source material pretty well. A lot of people really reference that movie a lot. Now the newest one looks fucking fantastic. Now I'm not the biggest. I played Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3, and then I kind of moved on from the franchise after that. So I haven't really kept up with it. So
you don't like the new ones where the girls are in full burqa when they fight?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat 3 was the last one I was really into. But
burqa.
Yeah, but they the new one looks great, and I'm glad. I think we're gonna get a Chun-Li cameo. Apparently, that's what I heard from mainstream journalists.
Why is Johnny Cage? Never mind Chun-Li. Why is Johnny Cage not in it? That's the thing where I'm like, that's weird. Why? That's such a bizarre.
I think they're gonna introduce like maybe Jill Cage. It won't be Johnny though.
It's like another guy.
No, I know. Like, is that what they're doing?
A lateral move for no reason.
It's ridiculous. But yeah, I have to argue for the first Mortal Kombat. I won't argue for the second one, even though I like it, even though it's a piece of shit, because I was really tied up into Mortal Kombat back then, and I had a lot of fond memories of it. I'm one of the maybe 4 people on the planet that likes the movie.
Yeah, like I think those movies are a case of being too true to the game, honestly. Like you know what I mean? Like this one, I'm not a big Mortal Kombat person. The trailer looks fucking dope. It looks violent. It looks like everything that you would expect it to be. It definitely, from what I'm hearing from a lot of people that are hardcore fans, it takes some liberties. Some things are a little bit different, but they feel like it's kind of got the feeling of like true paying homage to everything. So we'll see what happens. Molina evidently looks like shit.
Effects look great too.
Until
I'm a snob for that kind of stuff, and just from the
until we get Josiah's take, I'm gonna withhold judgment for everything Mortal Kombat. That is an inside joke because he made a Geeks and Gamers video game years ago, and he mispronounced every Mortal Kombat character's name. And that was my fault because I was
every time Josiah has a bad video, it's Jeremy's fault.
Yeah. It's true.
How can you miss?
No, not Jim. I have never taken credit for the Jim Lee one. Okay, I've never taken credit for that one, and I never will. Okay.
You know why they took Johnny Cage out? I'm looking at Screen Rant. It's because they wanted to center on actors and characters of Asian descent.
Yeah, they had a Asian character they could have used. As a matter of fact, the first movie, the main character was Asian.
Yeah, like I thought the main character was always Liu Kang, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I blame Jim Lee on Jeremy. That's what I blame.
Yep.
Well, I think according to canon, he won the first tournament, Liu Kang.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
They better not break canon on this one.
They better not.
I better not see snakes in Scorpion's hand.
He's come out, the actor, and said that he's really happy to be working with such a diverse cast of characters and yada yada yada, and like, oh, okay.
That's just standard shit. You got to say no.
Yeah, well, yeah, diverse and inclusive. Diversity is our strength. That's what they have to say. Gary Jensen for $50. Masks gone Wednesday in Texas. Here's $50 to celebrate. Thank you. Here in California, we can look forward to going from the purple tier to the red tier, which means we might be able to go inside of our gym for a couple of weeks until Gavin Newsom locks us down
Thank
again.
goodness. We were so swollen and
absolutely reckless.
We were swollen in purple, and now we're down to red.
Well, according to Joe Biden, we're Neanderthals here in Texas. So.
Yeah, is that where you are?
Come on, man, you're a Neanderthal.
I should have known.
Come on, man.
Neanderthal.
I like this saying diversity is our strength, but like writing is one of our terrible weaknesses.
Yes.
That should be the new tagline.
Yes. WG for $50. That girl Az talks to online has furniture disease. Has furniture disease? Her chest fell into her drawers. Oh, you barely.
I've got more girls.
Oh, I'm sure you do. I was talking to this girl online.
I just don't know.
I want to give, let me see. This is awesome right here. shout out to My Nerdy Home for putting this together. This is awesome. Look at that. That's fucking cool right there. So,
nice.
Good stuff. I really wish Ryan wasn't in there, but whatever. You gotta
I'm fucking Joe Kinnaman, motherfucker.
He does kind of ruin it, though.
It's good stuff, though, man. So thank you, My Nerdy Home.
Lethal looks so fire.
And speaking of My Nerdy Home, she's like been going through complete absolute bullshit with YouTube right now. Her channel's been under the process of monetization for over a year, and somehow she got accepted in the partner program, but is not actually monetized, and YouTube is refusing to help her do anything at all in any way, shape, or form, which is just complete and utter bullshit. So she started a second channel, and I think she's just going to try to start over because at this point, it's just to the point where I don't think there's anything she can do. So I'm going to put her second channel in the chat if you guys wouldn't mind going and supporting her there.
Almost a year. I mean, I can't imagine. That's just insanity. It's absolutely insanity.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it probably just got, again, that's that horrible infrastructure, and it got caught in a loop somewhere, and they just refuse. Well, they don't have the manpower to fix it.
It's people power, Gary. People power.
People power.
What was this, WWE or something? People power.
They need manpower. They need manpower. That's what I think. So I'm still pissed about WandaVision, guys. Like I knew this was coming. I fucking knew it, and I like bought into it for a second because they threw in the Quicksilver thing, which ended up to be, they fucking called him a Boner. His name is fucking Boner.
You've never taken too long to tell a dick joke, like
yeah,
9 episodes to tell one. I don't know.
That was like the Aristocrats. That fucking.
My question at that is like, did Agatha give him the speed powers? I have questions about that because everyone else, like the kids and everything, that's from Wanda, like, right? That gave the kids those powers.
Ryan, the correct answer is nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah,
well, they should.
Okay, I think he shot a ray gun into a space engine.
If Wanda can create a vision with a Mind Stone out of nowhere that can transfer the powers from the Mind Stone into another vision, she could kick Thanos' ass, and she's always been able to do that. And the theme at the end, I'm not going to break down the episode, but the theme at the end basically was she had to say goodbye to Vision and her kids. Sorry, spoilers, but that kind of happens in the comics. The kids pop up again later, which I'm sure they will as teenagers when they set up the very cringe Young Avengers, which started out good but won't. But she had to shed them to be to gain all of her power, and it's just like Captain Marvel, which is I just had to remove this little thing on my neck.
That's what that is. It's an abortion.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. That's to free herself to be.
So now she can focus on her career.
A lot of modern films too, because Toy Story 4 did the same storyline. Wreck-It Ralph 2, same storyline. You let everything, all your friends and all the people that rely on you, you let them go, and that's what gives you power.
And you know what's the worst trope in Hollywood right now is every cop, every detective, every lead detective is a black female now. Every single one. There is an army of black female detectives out there.
Well, then why are the police so racist?
I don't know. I don't know.
We'll tell those black detectives to shape up.
Yeah, they're obviously not doing their job right. Well,
they always have like, honey, this murder was, this was the Hulk.
Well, they had one come in to take care of the evil white guy at the end, which that was so fucking dumb.
He went from like as said, following protocol. Even if you understand where Wanda's coming from and you understand that that's not something he needs to be doing or whatever. He literally tried to murder her children who were just standing there. Didn't hurt anybody. They took the cops' guns away. He just tries to shoot him and blow him out of the fucking.
Shoot a kid.
So he went full Khaleesi, huh? In the last.
Yeah.
Well, the best part is that Wanda mind controls and kidnaps an entire town, and she's allowed to walk away.
Walk away.
Yes.
And
you go, girl. Everything's fine. I know they hate you, but it's okay.
Yeah. Well,
power.
Monica
just forget
Rambeau.
the fear that we saw in those people when they were awoken for a few
just
seconds.
forget about.
Yeah.
Forget it.
They were woke. The real kind. But no, Monica Rambeau and Scarlet Witch had a real intersectional feminism moment. Like, it's okay, honey. It's all right. You made all of these people suffer, but because you have a vagina like I do, you can go free.
Yeah. Isn't it that they used to, like that Bagger Vance character that like old white liberals love so much? All they do is make the girl version now. Like
pretty much,
every one of these girls has a black friend that's so supportive.
Let's go to golf balls.
Of Ash.
That's what black women love, supporting their white
Supporting the white savior.
Yeah.
They just plug the girl and do the same goddamn thing. It's amazing. There's that chess thing on Netflix about it's made up. It's not like a true story, but she's a drug addict. She has a caring black friend that's the fantasy. It used to be like when I was young, that all the white women dreamed of having like a gay friend at work that would comfort them. And that was like the shaman of your life was like, you're going to work in the city and have a gay friend. He's going to be like, girl, you need to get some D. And then they changed it into a black friend who's like, we don't need men.
But you need some D still.
You still need some D. We just can't say it out loud anymore. I'm looking.
They stole the ending straight from Watchmen.
Well, yeah.
Right.
This whole plot was stolen from Legion. Really, the TV show Legion. It's a very similar plot where you have a character who's got immense power and everybody's trying to save them, and Legion was destined to be a villain. We all knew that the whole time, and it was good for 2 seasons till it went completely woke. But yeah, they just redid Legion.
So this is gonna be.
But that was good. And then I remember I stopped watching it, and I forgot that's
because it got woke in the first fucking episode of season 3. Because anything made right around 2015, 2016 was still kind of normal until Hollywood just completely.
Yeah, no,
lost
I remember.
its mind.
Like,
Yep.
I was working in that lot where they were doing Legion. I remember when it turned over.
Dude, Fox was doing interesting things with the X-Men 5 years ago, right? So they had Deadpool, they had Logan. And at least the concept for the New Mutant or the New Mutants, which didn't execute very well, was interesting, and Legion was interesting, and they could have. By the time the MCU's done with the X-Men, we're gonna miss the Fox X-Men. We are, I think so.
Well, yeah. Well, you're not gonna get the X-Men. You're gonna get the mutants.
Oh yeah, that's right. This is true.
Yeah.
Why? What do you mean?
They're not gonna call it
because it has men and X-Men.
Why not just the X?
Oh wait, seriously? They're changing X-Men to the.
We're the X.
Well, they've been complaining about it for a while, but the actual movie title is the Mutants rather than the X-Men.
Wasn't the more recent one? It wasn't Apocalypse. It was Dark Phoenix. Didn't they make a reference to that?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, I think Jennifer
Lawrence did.
Jennifer Lawrence's character.
Point. Yeah, why do you call X-Men some X-Women?
You call yourselves the X-Men. It seems like the X-Women are doing these things.
Do you remember that comic that Marvel used to make? It was like a comedy comic. I still remember. I wonder, if somebody dug that out, they'd be furious about it. But that was one of the jokes. It was the X-Men, like EX-Men, and they were all trans.
Yeah.
And it was that was a Marvel. Yeah.
Don't give him any ideas.
They're 2 steps ahead of you, Kat. They really are, I think.
Yep, it's gonna happen.
By the way, Az, you look fantastic with those glasses on. Just want to say that.
Thank you.
Look very intelligent.
It looks fairly intelligent. Yeah. I'm impressed.
Looks can be deceptive.
Well, you beat me with Az.
You remind me of Professor Bunsen Honeydew from the Muppets. A very wise, very smart man with a non-binary assistant.
Now you just need a little beaker next to you.
I agree that Monica Rambeau was just a fucking waste of fucking time.
Well, yeah, it was her origin story essentially.
Set up a stupid. I mean, even if the post-credit scene was so dumb, it's just like people are waiting for you in the theater. Trust me, I ain't fucking waiting for you in the theater, darling. I ain't gonna go to the cinema when this fucking film comes out. I don't give a toss about you and fucking Captain Marvel scissoring whatsoever. Why? Why 9 episodes to just do some fucking retarded clip at the end of the series?
I feel bad for Az because he was so
into it. He really was.
A lot of heartbreak in this. Yeah.
When Evan Peters came, and I just thought, right, this is where the show's just going to kick in now. This is where it's really going to kick in. We've had this build up. Evan Peters has turned up from the Fox universe. This is where shit's going to go crazy. And the show just went, wow.
Basically, yeah.
They had nothing after that. They had nothing after that reveal.
I still have hope for the Jake Boner spinoff. That is these threads.
Ralph Boner.
Oh,
Ralph Boner, that's right.
Boner.
He's like, is your name Ralph Boner? And he just goes, Boner.
Yeah,
Am I the only one behind?
I'm ready for the Bonerverse.
In the post-credit scene from like a couple of episodes ago, when Elizabeth Olsen went down into the cellar, and then Monica Rambeau in the post-credit scenes looking in the window, and the guy taps and goes, no, I did not recognize that was Evan Peters at all.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah. Who do you think it was?
I thought, who's this new mystery character?
How about that? How about that cringe?
He's there with her in the fucking attic, and I'm just like, who is Evan Peters?
As you're just like, whoa, Kevin Feige just putting Easter eggs. Who is this dude?
Mother.
And then there's the most cringe fucking line in this episode when Agatha Harkness is fighting the Scarlet Witch, and they're reminiscing about the Salem witch trials. She goes,
"Oh yeah,
there'll always be pitchforks and torches for women like us." I'm like, yeah, women who kidnap
you're a
thousands
danger
of
to
fucking
society.
people.
Yeah.
And what it takes.
Want to siphon power from other people and kill people to stay alive. Yeah, yes, there will be.
And you just killed the one white hero that could have stopped it.
Isn't it kind of anti-feminist because it's like men will always want to stop women with power. So you give women power, they become scary?
Yeah.
No, they become powerful, not scary.
Well, the women,
if you're intimidated by that, Odin, that's your problem.
It seems more anti-feminist because every time they get power, they do bad things. And it's like,
Yeah, but who stopped for the first time? It was women. It wasn't men. So that's the thing that's so funny about it.
Oh, sorry if justice seems like a bad thing to you.
Well, it is a bad thing. So what do you expect?
The women failed, though.
Well,
the women failed, and she sucked them dry, ladies.
But she went on a personal journey to understand that she had the power the whole time.
So, as someone that hasn't watched the last several episodes, where does Monica Rambeau play into the future of the MCU based on how this show wrapped up?
She's powerful as just black.
She is the third most powerful hero in the MCU now because she walked through a barrier, and she was told she was the bestest ever while walking through that barrier. I went back and listened to the scene, and yes, it's like, you are immensely powerful. You are the top of your class. It's all the fucking compliments and validation she got while she's walking through the wall.
Right.
And her
by the way, Marvel's marketing for the next Doctor Strange movie is he's not as powerful as Wanda Maximoff.
Yep. They said that right at the end.
You are stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme. Oh, great. Okay.
So he's not the Sorcerer Supreme anymore.
So it was the story. She created that whole town and all that thing with that bright red barrier because she's on her period. That's what I took from it.
Yeah.
That was
you're not wrong.
And Monica Rambeau bravely went through that red barrier.
Yep.
What it did,
and went
sister. Last a month, didn't it? Yeah. Technically, it lasted a month.
There's nothing more. Yeah, she spent a month. Yeah.
Oh wow, no.
Controls her family.
We're diving deep in that.
You guys think it's funny, but remember the Game of Thrones fucking prequel that never happened. That was shit canned because it was too woke for HBO. Was called Blood Moon.
Yes,
which was about the moon's blood is
it's because women were demonized for a long time.
Yes,
and now it's time to embrace it.
Bleeding out of her eyes, bleeding out of her wherever.
Everybody I know that was freaked out about period. It was always like girls were like, I don't care. I'll put it down. I don't give a. They're all like, it's such like a self. Like, do you feel ashamed?
It's projection is what it is.
When you ruin that guy's couch, maybe you should feel ashamed. Maybe a Diva Cup doesn't work like you thought it did.
You know what? It's just a thing. That's all it is. It's a thing. That's all. I'll go down. I used to make my trips to Walgreens to get the stuff, the feminine.
Poor choice of words, Gary.
I'll go down.
I'll go down. I was like, I'll go down.
Is I go to the store to get my wife tampons.
Back in my day, I'd go down on that.
This
Yes.
is fucking metal.
I'm not like
Red Wings, buddy.
I'm not some kind of,
Hey, Gary's always talking about punk rock. That's punk rock right there, baby.
Red Wings, baby.
you used to call him Redbeard.
Does a good Christian boy go down anywhere? There, Odin.
Oh man!
Hey, pop off them specs and let's go to Walgreens.
Just go to Walgreens.
I'm going all the way to.
Now I just want to burn one down. That's it.
Little bit of good news. The Superman and Lois, the first episode is now up due to streaming to 3.25 million.
Oh damn!
Man, I love Superman and Lois.
Is the whole episode she just cooks a nice meal for him?
Bitch, where's my
Finally, it's back to what I wanted.
No, in fact, Lois judges someone else because they're having a barbecue. That's what happened in the last episode.
So she's a Karen.
Is Lois vegan?
It is a great. It's both episodes have been fantastic, but I think all of us, even people that are enjoying it as much as like me and Az, and I think Gary's enjoying it too. Like, we're fully expecting it to go off the rails. Like,
well, does Superman fight his ultimate enemy, his own privilege?
Yeah.
Remember that in Superman 2 or 3?
He is going to fight himself.
That's the thing. So, like, the CW DC shows, that has been this Superman's role for a long time. He has been a bitch to Supergirl. He has been only there to show how strong Supergirl is in comparison to him. He has been a cuck, even to Lois. So,
have you ever tried to date a female reporter? There's going to be a lot of that.
Well, yeah, and I think that is where we're gonna see the cracks in the show start to come out, is Lois, because it's Superman and Lois is an important part of it, and some of this stuff is gonna be true to her character from the comics for sure.
Wait,
but also
this the show already?
The actress,
like
you're right, Ryan. The actress is kind of the weak link, dude. I mean, she's just not. I don't know. You got to compare her to all the other Loises. And
yeah,
she
what
doesn't.
about Terry Hatcher?
Terry Hatcher is the best ever.
Erica Durance is the best ever. No, Noelle Neal is the best ever.
Wait, who's Noelle Neal? Which one was that?
Who's Noelle Neal? She's from the '50s Superman show. The one I grew up with.
Yeah. Back when I was growing up,
back when Ryan respected women.
Back when they didn't body shame Superman for his dad bod.
No, he just cooked and got fucked.
Yeah. Dad bod Superman, George Reeves, who committed suicide.
George Reeves muscles.
Yeah. And was portrayed by Ben Affleck in a movie. Yes.
Superman pulled his underpants up to his belly button like an old 50s man.
Like Kylo Ren. Yeah, Kylo Ren.
Like Kylo Ren has...
Got grandpa pants there. Nabor 605 for $5 says, it makes a good point here. Same plot as at the end of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4. Darkhold created alt reality, ending in agents saying goodbye to fake daughters that never existed.
I was wondering about that because when we saw the book in Agatha's place, and you're like, is that the Darkhold? And they confirmed that it is the Darkhold. Yep. Like, the Agents of
you
S.H.I.E.L.D.
don't like Monica Rambeau. You could stop being...
You
don't have to keep harping on it.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that has always been, it follows the movie continuity, but it is actually not officially continuity. That's always the way that it's been, and kind of unfortunately.
Same with Netflix, Daredevil too.
Yeah, so it's weird that they use that
for the layman.
Darkhold is basically this fucking ancient book of magic. Okay. That's the best way to describe it. Nice. And it showed up. It played a really pivotal role in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. seasons like 4 and 5 or something. And it was, I don't want to say it is super important, but it will very clearly be important because that's what Wanda was reading at the end credits scene.
It's going to be massively important. And they did, so bringing Evan Peters in, that was technically bringing in the X-Men, even though he wasn't officially an X-Men. They're getting you ready for doing it. They just didn't want to do it in this show because it wasn't big enough. And quite frankly, Disney Plus isn't a priority for them because they were still focused on the films. They also introduced the Nexus through that commercial which is the multiverse, which you can bring in things like fucking the Man-Thing and all the horror elements of the Marvel Universe that they probably will keep only on Disney Plus because China won't allow them. So they're setting up things for movies that are not going to be out for years. And what Ryan was saying earlier, this was supposed to come out, a few months before Doctor Strange, or at least a year. I don't know for sure. A year before Doctor Strange. Anybody know? But now it's 2 years. It's 2 years off.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the timing, but it was just supposed to be a thing. It wasn't supposed to be the thing.
Yeah.
It became the thing with everything else getting pushed, with Black Widow, with Eternals, with Mutants, all this stuff getting pushed. This became the thing. And they are doing their best in typical Marvel Feige fashion. They have now kind of just adjusted. And if you look at the lineup for Disney Plus over the next year through the end of 2021, every single fucking week, there is something new Marvel coming out, something new MCU related coming out. I think next week it'll be the making of WandaVision. And then right after that, it's Falcon Winter Soldier. All that, then the making of. Then I think it's Black Widow, making of Black Widow, and so on. Every fucking week through the end of 2021. So they're doing the best with kind of what they have.
It's just there's no reason to be excited for Marvel from my perspective. And even if I'm thinking outside of how disconnected I am with Disney and Marvel right now, I just find it hard to believe what's going to turn the needle for people. I don't really know what's really turning the needle for people, and I'm struggling to figure that out. They blew their load with Endgame, or Infinity War, and they killed off, or moved on from characters or whatever. And I guess there's plans to bring them back into the equation to kind of dangle the keys. Is that
I think there's going to be a Captain China replacing?
Oh yeah,
he's going to have a CCP flag.
Yeah,
that's
the dilemma Hollywood is in. The money. I mean, we've been talking about this forever with Doctor Who. You want to bring all the fans back to Doctor Who? You make it a young, good-looking guy with a hot companion, and it would do well.
And they don't hook up like that. The tension stays for the whole time.
But they never hook up. Yeah. So with the
I will also say too, I know I sent the storyboards that were not leaked necessarily, but the storyboards that were put out there that Warner Brothers did not want anybody to see for Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3. The original storyboard that was written probably around 2014. Shockingly similar to what we ended up seeing with Infinity War and Endgame. Not necessarily a surprise after Marvel changed course with Kevin Feige and Jeff Johns being good buddies.
Corporate espionage, but no, with Marvel, back to Marvel, what would get people enticed again? Galactus, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men looking like the X-Men, Wolverine being about 5'8".
Galactus, who's not a cloud.
Yeah, he's not a fucking cloud. You bring in Marvel heroes, iconic Marvel heroes that look like they do in the comic books. It can live on forever, but they can't do it now. They absolutely refuse. They will not. We will not be getting a Fantastic Four that looks like Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four. The Fox movies, or was it Sony or Fox? I can't remember. Those are going to be the most accurate ones. The Roger Corman is going to be the most fucking Fantastic Four movie. Is going to be the most accurate Fantastic Four movie.
Okay, wait, but let me ask you, because I thought that the Thor that I liked a lot, that what's his name made, the vampire show guy, Taika Waititi made.
Yeah,
I thought they did really good. I liked how they made Jack Kirby aliens. They had all those kind of
Yeah.
You don't think they could do Fantastic Four looking like that?
But then the Valkyries, was Tessa fucking Thompson. And now she's the king of Asgard. So that's where they fucking, they got Valkyries. As far as I know, they brought in the dead, their spirits for the dead and stuff. They're not supposed to be king. For one, they can't be kings because they're Valkyries. But whatever.
Oh right.
Yeah.
That's where
they're basically taxis for dead warriors.
Yeah.
And Tessa Thompson, she's an actress with such range. She does Tessa Thompson better than anybody can do Tessa Thompson.
Oh God, I know. She's so wonderful at it.
Why is it if we're gonna be so goddamn diverse, why don't you get some American black actors? Why are they all British? Why not get some American? If you care so damn much, why not try to hire some American who I'm sure would like the work?
Queen Latifah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
It can't just be Queen Latifah. There should be other people.
Well, I mean, I like Henry Cavill as Superman, but why is Superman British? Why is Spider-Man British now?
Because Henry Cavill's built like Superman, and no one in America's built like Superman because they're all fucking soy boys now.
Good point. I'm not going to argue that.
I mean, look at the difference. I mean, and no disrespect, because I do like Tyler Hoechlin, But look at Tyler Hoechlin's physique and look at Henry Cavill's physique.
And he's got a padded shirt.
And he's got Tyler Hoechlin has to wear a padded shirt.
Hoechlin. He's the Superman on the Superman and Lois, and he's good.
That's a padded shirt.
He's really short. He's really
Was Shazam a padded shirt, or I thought it wasn't?
It was.
All of the costumes are like padded with muscles and everything, but
or
like,
is it just the fact? Because he looked like, I saw pictures of him where he looked like that. He looked bizarrely big.
Yeah, Zachary Levi Levi got really jacked for it. There's no doubt.
They're
but
all padded.
all of them have different padding to accentuate
even like
everything.
Affleck's bat suit's padded. You know?
Cavill's Cavill's thing is padded, but it's not to the level that Tyler Hoechlin's is. You can tell Tyler Hoechlin because you saw him in like the pajama, like the old school one, right? And how he looked in that, and then you saw him in the look at me now. Now I'm big.
He does look a little ridiculous in his everyday Superman suit. It just looks like when Joey from Friends put that Superman suit on that one time. That's kind of what it looks like. It kind of looks like that.
I've never seen an episode of Friends.
It kind of looks like that episode. Where
You've never seen an episode of Friends?
I meant to ask this to you guys. When you brought up Doctor Who, do you think? And I don't have like some information about this. I just like got that impression when the whole Chris Chibnall, Jodie, what's her head?
Whittaker.
Do you think that he had like a thing for her? Like, I feel like he had a crush on her, and that was his reason. That's what I suspect. Knowing nothing. What?
He did Broadchurch, and she was one of the characters in Broadchurch.
Yeah, and he probably had a little crush on her, a little work crush. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think there's like some kind of like just how what's her name, who was supposed to be in the original Star Trek was Roddenberry's girlfriend. That's why they didn't.
Margelle Barry.
Yeah, because you'll hear things like, well, we almost had a woman something, but it's like they didn't want to hire his girlfriend. That's why they didn't have her.
Yeah, because they knew Gene Roddenberry was fucking around on everybody too. So
yeah. It was just like it was like not professional, and so like I don't know. I just because she seems like I was just like, what the fuck? Like, that's his like crush. I swear to God,
it has to be, and he's got no game, even for a guy who's like works for is like one whatever your version of the Emmys is over there. Kibnall. Did I just say Kibnall?
Kibnall.
It's
like
smash. It's a nice mashup.
Why is Kibnall's face so big?
Chibnall has no game. No.
Chibnall.
If he has a crush on her, why does he make her look so fucking dumpy in that show?
Maybe he likes that.
Because it seems like just the whole way it is. It seems like it's like this is like some guy's crush on a chick, because it's such a weird like. I don't know. I just really strongly have that impression.
For my next video, I got the best.
The good sexual tension was off screen.
I got the best thumbnail for my next Doctor Who video. I've got her making the worst facial expression. It took me 20 minutes to get it just right, but it's like one of her she's like, so good.
A spider! I don't do a British accent. Whoa!
It looks like she's getting she's getting pegged. So what am I sharing here? Which do I share, the Az one or the Ryan one, guys?
Are we doing the same ones? Does that have to do with the Muppet?
Yeah.
We're doing the same one.
Here, let's just do Ryan. Beaker's on the wrong face.
Oh man, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
I was called Beaker all through fucking high school.
You'd never know the difference.
That's literally Ryan's face every Sunday for Mario Kart. It really is.
Speaking of getting pegged.
Remember when we were playing Rocket League and I could actually win?
Remember when Odin was able to join us one time when we played before 3 p.m.?
Dude, wasn't that so much fun? I love that. I miss that.
Oh man. That's great.
Beautiful.
That's great.
And by the way, keep them coming, guys. You're taking pictures of getting ready for Friday Night Tights.
Those are awesome.
They are awesome. Those are really cool.
The pizza ones, especially top notch stuff.
Yes,
there you go. Tag me on Minds. That's where I am right now.
They're really tag them on Minds. They're really going off on Instagram. Mrs. Neurotic has been sharing them there. on Twitter. We love them. We plan in the very near future to have Friday Night Tights mugs are coming and T-shirts. So keep an eye out for that stuff very, very soon.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. What? Did somebody say something?
Oh, I thought you were getting a message from somewhere.
I'm hearing an as in my...
What?
Dirty Wormy.
What?
I'm hearing an as.
What?
I'm hearing an as. Dermy Wormy for $20. Hail Friday Night Tights. You guys are the best part of my week. Why, thank you. You are the best part of our week. I look forward to this. I wish I could do this weekly. I know, guys, you can't, but I wish we could.
We do it weekly, Gary.
yeah, daily.
I think you meant daily.
I think I meant daily.
I'm like, what the fuck have I been doing the last couple months, man?
I don't know.
Weekly. Yeah, we should do weekly.
I wish that I could do it weekly.
I don't remember last
just
episode.
doing it every Friday.
Dude, senility is kicking in. I cannot wait to see Star Wars for the first time again. It's going to be brilliant. Fucking drugs have sped that up. A Sticks for $50 says Friday Night Tights, proof that real men exist. Yes. Sure. Absolutely. Real men right here.
We're manly men.
Forklift drivers.
Forklift. I can drive a forklift.
We are a bunch of men disappointed in WandaVision.
We are.
A bunch of men disappointed in a woman. How crazy.
Yeah. In your abilities.
Let's discuss.
Wow.
Look at the bald.
When's the Jesus Joker one coming out with the Zack Snyder remake of
that's coming out on March 18th. That shot's not going to be in the movie. That was just like promos when they were taking pictures and stuff. But yeah, it's coming out March 18th. It's gonna be fucking awesome. 4 hours of Zack Snyder's Justice League.
And yes, we're gonna get 4 hours of Zack Snyder, all the fucking Access Media who was,
and that's just one slow-mo shot.
It's a one slow-mo shot of Superman like helping Batman up. That it's like that one scene, but it's stretched out over 4 hours, and it'll still be better than anything fucking Jar Jar Abrams does. So
yeah, well, he's gonna explain more about Martha, and that's that's
the whole movie. It's just
Martha's my mom. I probably should have just said Martha.
Yeah, I said my mum instead of Martha, and I know it made it complicated and awkward for you when you were trying to kill me, but.
How do you know that
Ben
name?
Affleck was coming.
And then Lois came in and she had to speak for me. I was dying of Krypton.
What do you think the guy Cyborg?
I think it's big pussy.
Yeah,
Ray Fisher?
pussy.
Like, what do you think? Is there like because that I'm curious about how much is that? What's his name's a douchebag?
I think it's pretty clear that I think it's pretty clear that Joss Whedon is very much an incredible douchebag, and Ray Fisher's not the only person who have complaints against Joss Whedon and Jeff Johns. Gal Gadot does as well. Those weren't as public; those are being privately investigated. But it should be known it's not just Ray Fisher.
Yeah. I think you got a combination of, Hollywood just kind of eating itself alive in that situation. Joss Whedon is a douchebag. He's a well-known douchebag. He's a male feminist. He's on many occasions there's been creepy behavior with him and women. And, with Ray Fisher, he just seems
like he's beyond creepy.
Huh?
It goes a little beyond creepy.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, fuck Joss Whedon. Basically, I mean, he's a piece of shit. And
what is it like? It's not like he's like he's not like a sniffy Joe Biden with him or something, right? Like it's like
no, he cheated on his wife quite a bit. With starlets and whatnot. He's just a shitty person.
Yeah, he's one of these people that projects so much about like respecting women and how women are the greatest creatures on earth, and we must never harm them. And then like he's literally lying to his wife and sleeping around with every woman who he
respect.
can. So yeah,
and then he blames the patriarchy rather than himself.
Yeah,
and it's matter too because unlike some of these people who have no talent, he does have talent.
Yeah, Joss Whedon's a
he
fucking
can do great
dick.
He's
He's a
like a lot of
has he
talented
done
people are
anything
douchebags.
creepy? Like with like fucking the only thing we've heard is what's her name wasn't allowed to be in alone in a room with him, which I knew back then. Everybody knew back then.
Who wasn't allowed to be in a room?
Someone from Buffy, right?
Michelle
when she was a child.
Wasn't allowed to be in a room with
Her mom
sounds like a church rule.
15 years old. She was 15 years old.
But the rule was nobody, no male over a certain age was supposed to be in a room alone with her. She was always supposed to. And there's rules that Hollywood have about kids that the kids can't be alone with people anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much
schools too. Schools have those rules as well for everyone's safety. So.
That's like at my Jehovah's Witness congregation. Like the door had to be open if an elder is talking to a sister of the hall.
Really?
Yeah, that's like a church church thing. Of like leave the door open.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. I think that's a great.
No, I'm
idea.
shocked that it exists. I thought there was to hear the Feldog tell it. They all it was an all ages party in those dressing rooms with teen actors.
Well, it was. And he was apparent. Joss Whedon was off in his own little kingdom on a lot, on the Paramount lot. He shot at night in a part that wasn't really supervised. And it made a great fucking TV show. One of the greatest TV shows ever, personally.
Yeah, and he especially like he must have got so much tail from.
Yes.
Because he's the most, all the worst like SJW writing is people trying to copy him.
Yes.
Like trying to do Whedon speak, and it really isn't natural, and it's like how I like David Mamet, and it's not normal speech, but it's just the guy's a good writer.
It works for him and him only. And now it's like infected Star Trek. Oh God!
Like if Chris Chibnall was good, he would be Joss Whedon.
Yes.
And if what's his name that made Last Jedi got laid more, he would be Joss Whedon. He's like that dude's a not getting laid Joss Whedon.
Just got laid in general. He lost his virginity.
Rianne Johnson's one of the most frustrated people on the planet. Like seriously.
Yeah, like it just came off like a low T version of like you could tell he was shooting for like a Joss Whedon.
Well, it's bad. It kind of it goes back into bad leadership when Rian Johnson was working on Breaking Bad, and there was leadership and there was people that were there to keep him in line to make him direct our vision. Then he did a good job, but you have no leadership at Lucasfilm.
Like that. I do a better job if I am under the thumb of a. Otherwise, I would. If it was up to me, I'd just be ruining Star Wars and all kinds of nonsense. Okay, is this? Because I was thinking about this. The famous Mary. I think I asked Az this already, but the much hated Mary Poppins Leia scene.
Yeah.
Which okay, is it? It just occurred to me, but is it not possible? Like since she's in space, right, where you're weightless, wouldn't that technically be an easier thing to pull off than even pulling up your lightsaber if you're Luke in Empire Strikes Back? Like, was that the easiest thing to move yourself in space if you have the Force?
Maybe, but like
there would be no
organs,
resistance.
Yeah, all of your organs are like crushing, and you're bleeding out of your eyeballs, and you're freezing to death.
That would be the bigger thing is the projecting a field around yourself in order to survive in the vacuum. So that would be the tougher part than I think pulling yourself.
And then especially since we haven't established that Leia knew jack fucking squat about the Force in the films. Okay, I don't want to hear about comics and books and all that shit. You didn't establish it in the movies. It's just all of a sudden I can do this shit. It was bad. It was just bad. And their whole part, this was Jar Jar Abrams' plan too. The whole part was to make this, the trilogy was supposed to be Leia was the master. It was supposed to put Luke in the background a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah.
And she's a princess. That's a Disney that's Disney magic.
She's a general princess Jedi.
I love those transcripts of Dave Filoni and all those other guys talking about how they really feel like Leia should be the one to be the mentor. There's a really strong message there about the matriarchy rising up and subverting the patriarchy. This is my favorite.
Her, like fucking Idi Amin with a general outfit and and I'm the Lord of Geography and the princess and the Master Jedi, like all these medals.
Yes. Oh yeah. That's SJW writing. We're gonna make her the bestest ever. Yeah. I Star Wars is so fucked right now. They fucked all of their goodwill, and they're going to carry on. But Jon Favreau cannot be happy. This is another troubled Kathleen Kennedy production. Yet another one. Like it's one after the other. And I would be surprised if he eventually left. And, him and Filoni seem like buddies, but I could see Filoni throwing a dagger in his back. you know, so he can be in control.
Yeah.
You know, I could see
This
that
is all he's got. He's got to protect.
Yeah.
Otherwise, just a guy in a cowboy hat that likes Star Wars.
And wolves, apparently.
And wolves. Yeah.
Who's that other poor guy? What's the other guy with like the marshmallow head? Pablo. What's his name?
Pablo Hidalgo.
Yeah. Imagine a non in charge of canon Pablo Hidalgo. What his life would be. That poor Canadian guy.
Wasn't he just an IT guy or something like that at the beginning?
Well, they all got that suck up. A lot. The thing I love is like, because it's not even so much like SG. Because a lot of these writers that just converted to that, it wasn't like they were just that type of dude where they're like, you know, their wife's too. You know, all the sitcoms like, why is the wife so hot with this schlub? Because for a lot of writers in Hollywood, that's their life. Like, like, you know, like these are like schlubby dudes that get like they get some money and like kind of hot wives and like, they're like, hey, don't fuck me. Like, so I think that just was a natural. Like, who's the guy that does Batman, where he makes Batman and Catwoman's his mommy and all that? Tom King.
Oh,
That's not. I don't think that's more as much SJW as like mommy kind of fetish, like simp stuff. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think SJW is like their girlfriend's policy, but they just say it.
Pablo started off at like West End Games, like, and he kind of just like put together a bunch of stuff, and they were really impressed, like how he was keeping track of a lot of this continuity. So they brought him on board. So a lot of people got involved initially when like the expanded universe was really starting to grow, and they had to keep track of all of these different things. And unfortunately, along the way, you know, after everything turned over, and these people were allowed to do what they wanted instead of respect the customers and the consumer. After George left, everything fucking changed about Lucasfilm.
Well, it doesn't surprise me if he came from the toxic racist jock world of role-playing games. That bring that.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I just see no way to defend anything or anybody at Lucasfilm at this point. It's not to say everybody at Lucasfilm's a piece of shit, but the people that are in charge at Lucasfilm are pieces of shit. And until Jon Favreau gives us a reason to think otherwise, you just have to assume that he stands by what happened with the you have to assume that he supports what they did to Gina Carano, which is total fucking bullshit. And that's just how you only have to it's an educated guess.
Either he supports it or he's not man enough to stand up.
He's the one who assume that Filoni, is that what you just said?
Filoni or Favreau. These guys are heavily involved. I mean, she told Ben Shapiro that Jon Favreau directly reached out to her to hire her. If I'm not mistaken, he created Cara Dune for her, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, so for her to be fired in such a public way and then shamed in such a public way, if he's not supportive of that, then, and again, it's not fair to just do guilt by association per se, but when you've seen Lucasfilm do this for so many years to fans, and then you had it elevated to not only just fans, but their biggest fan in Star Wars theory, and then you see them do this public shaming of Gina Carano for literally doing nothing wrong, at some point, the people that are there, that are working there, that are in high decision, they're making decisions there, you got to go, like, look, man, what the hell is going on? Like, why are you supporting this type of shit? Like, clearly Favreau has power. Clearly he has power.
Listen, that's I'm sure. Now, you know, just like the old Hollywood blacklist horseshit, like who the hell came out and said anything when that happened? That's just not the nature of it.
Yeah.
So he's making the show. Like, what surprises me is that show's so successful. I would think they wouldn't be like doing weird games like that to, like, you know, screw it up. So he's probably in a terrible position. Like, what do you like? I know exactly the position. People think, like, what am I gonna do? Not make the show? And a lot of people, it will take a little bit before they're pushed to how like a fan feels. Like he's coming in off of like you know, I don't know, inventing the Marvel universe on screen, and you know, so it's like all these people just want to do their job really well, and then like you try to just stay the fuck out of that bull. Like, really. There's no reason to be on Twitter like that, you know? Even though I like that Gina Carano is like, fuck you, I'm not going to take this shit. It's such a waste of time being on Twitter and such like an invitation for like nonsense like that. Like,
agreed.
That is a part of it. Like, if you know the deal, I mean, having worked on stuff, that's what people expect. Like, come on, we're a team trying to make this fucking thing.
Yeah.
So like, I never went on, and I got all kinds of social media shit, but I never was on working on a show. I guess they're downtime now, so she wasn't working on it.
Yeah.
like that's the thing you don't realize. Like she thought she had like her freedom because she wasn't working. I know that exact feeling. Like, well, I'm not working for them right now. Like, this is my time. That we don't have that no more. Now your time's the company's time all day long, and you better represent them properly. And everybody doesn't realize.
And that would be one thing if Pedro Pascal wasn't calling all Trump voters Nazis. On the same platform at the same time. You know what I mean?
He said some things that he should be fired for if they're going to fire Gina for the same thing.
And Mark Hamill posting pictures of the former first lady, you know, and again, we understand that those are pictures that it's not like he's the one who brought those pictures to the forefront, but the nudes.
Mark Hamill posted nudes.
He slut shamed Melania Trump.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
He deleted the tweet. He deleted the tweet. He got absolutely destroyed for it from even the
was this
even the
election
left.
time or past?
This was when was it? Was this right?
I don't know.
After?
It was right around.
I think it was right after. I think it was right after. No, it was right. It was right before, I believe. Actually, it was right in that time frame though. But he deleted the tweets because he got destroyed from even the lefties or
how did well, nobody's that old, but I was like, how did people react to the Jackie O pictures in Hustler? JFK's wife. It was like that was like a full bush shoot that they put.
It's not like I have no problem with what any single person does in Hollywood in terms of like as long as it's not illegal. So like if Mark Hamill wants to post pictures like that, then can Tim Allen post pictures of a Democratic politician's wife like that?
Right.
I mean, he would never get away with it.
There's not any other attractive enough.
Because what you get accused of is you can be accused like, oh, what are you crying? Because like, what are you being a snowflake? Like the issue is like, you call me whatever you want. I don't give a shit. But don't tell me that I'm got like handcuffed in some way while you're free to like use abuse or. Let's say it's not racist. It's only you can't be racist. But it's still shitty. Like, why are you saying this shit to people?
That's it. Because I've made the point about Lucasfilm. If Lucasfilm has a rule that employees cannot publicly discuss politics on social media, I have no problem with that. So then, if Gina Carano goes and steps out of that, rule and posts and she gets fired, then I go, Gina Carano deserved it. Lucasfilm clearly does not have a rule telling these fucking employees they can't talk about it because
situational.
Absolutely, because Lucasfilm employees spend all day trashing Trump and trashing Republicans and trashing conservatives, which again is fine. Then if that's fine and I'm okay with that, then Gina should be able to say anything she wanted. But not only did she not say anything wrong, they invented what she said, and they fired her for what they claim she said and not what she really said. Which is
also for stuff she did earlier. Yeah, for stuff she did earlier. Remember in her interview, she talked about how they were going to force her to sit in like a Zoom meeting with 40 people essentially yelling at her to try and make amends for trans stuff. So it's like that double standard of, oh, you have to face these people, but if someone from the other side does it, oh, a little apology is perfectly fine. Oh no, but not for her, right? She had to go above and beyond, which was insane.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like it's one thing for Bill Burr to kind of skirt around it or whatever. Favreau's on a different level. Like Favreau is like you said, Jeremy. Favreau has the power. Like, what are they gonna fucking do? Are they gonna get him? Okay, he'll do something else. Like Favreau has that clout to be able to say something.
More powerful than Kathleen Kennedy?
I think in Hollywood in general.
Why isn't he? Like, I think it's shocking that could be a thing.
I think if he leaves Star Wars, it's fucked. It's totally fucked. It'll be
that's the only good thing they've made of Star Wars is that one show. Yeah. Like, if it's good or not because people who don't care about that shit are like, oh yeah, I like that. That's like the only thing I've seen where it was like that, where like
Yeah, they're like, hey, Baby Yoda, Luke Skywalker. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That was a genius like.
Yeah, I would, and I agree with that though. Favreau had, I would say, he's got to be as powerful as anybody at Lucasfilm outside of Kennedy in terms of because she's a woman and they're not going to fire her. But
she has a lot of contracts and stuff too.
If there was fallout, Favreau would be fucking fine. He would be able to go somewhere else because he's shown that he's able to have these big hits and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, so also people have this is the thing that you powerful but responsible for production. Like I know he's thinking of like anybody that is doing that is especially like him is thinking about like all these people work on this. When Tom Cruise had to do
it's a good point.
to Christian Bale, that guy with no mask. Like, that's like a that's a huge weight. That's like a weight. It's like you got these people's jobs and stuff, and I don't know. There's like I'm sure there's a lot to consider. Because look, my instinct with things, and this is why I'm not more of a successful person, is like fuck this. I don't, because I never wanted that so bad like that, where I would like, sit there and have to hem and haw and be like, oh well, I mean, on the one hand, she shouldn't have said that. That guy, fucking what's his name? He does like news, and he's like, "What's up, you beautiful bastard?" Oh, DeFranco.
Philly D, that fucking piece of shit.
No, he did a wormy. Yeah, I watched it, and he did that when that news came out. He did a wormy, and that's a signal like, hey, anybody corporate, like I play ball and I do. So his little middle of the road is going like, you should have known someone would get sensitive. He didn't address the point in any way, and made it that you should have just known people would be lie about you and do some liar stuff. And you know what? He probably meant it. They all think that you're supposed to plan your life around what the most vile people in the world will try to do. And you're like an asshole. You're like, we got to play the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
People,
what a dick.
That's just Philip DeFranco. That motherfucker's asshole is shaped like a fence post. He's been.
But he'll go
for
far.
so long.
Like I'm telling you, that dude will go far in whatever like rotting Hollywood thing, whatever he's trying to do, because that's like Ryan Seacrest blankness applied to this. Ryan Seacrest never had to skirt that line being a human blank. This dude found with a controversial way to be a fucking blank of a human. That's what they're looking for. That's like he's going to go far. I trust me.
No, his biggest controversy is scamming a bunch of people into a BetterHelp program to give him money for mental health for people that weren't actually qualified to do it. It was a complete scam. So congratulations on your pyramid scheme and your absolute garbage to your way to try to help people that are depressed online. Philip DeFranco, you piece of shit.
Kurt's right. Kurt's right with Billy.
Therapists.
I think I'm going to say because he wore his hat backwards with his hair pulled through the fucking loop and gelled down. His fucking hat. Who the fucking did that to him?
He's the worst. But you're right though. Kurt's right about like Philip DeFranco he's the guy that will be successful. He is literally it's a snake. He'll just.
Yeah, it's a miracle Mandalorian got made, because that's like that Favreau has to dance around that horse shit. You know how hard that is to get to that level you can make something good?
It's a miracle. It's a miracle every time we get a good movie. It is.
Yeah,
and it's usually
he's got a lot. Yeah.
Well, it's usually like people not being involved. It's the film where the studio has the least involvement is where we get a Joker, right? Or the Avengers. Mm-hmm. The MCU was started because the people investing in it like really just
didn't give a shit.
Didn't give a shit because if the thing failed, they got to own the character. They got to own Captain Marvel. It's a huge fucking risk. And you had people in there who actually read Marvel comics, gave a shit about them, knew the lore, and loved it. It was a passion project, and it was a huge fucking like Robert Downey Jr. was astronomical to insure him.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
He was in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and that was like his little test thing to see if we could.
Yeah, that was his. Can he not smoke crack? And like he totally pulled it together. That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, there's no way Disney could make something like that. Disney cannot create a Star Wars. Disney cannot create an MCU. And I mean, like honestly, Star Wars are the newer characters out there, and they're from the 70s. How much new shit is part of a franchise right now, a major franchise that isn't a couple of decades old, 15 years old?
Just Soul? Is Soul new? Soul's not a remake, right?
But is it a franchise? I'm talking a Star Wars, MCU, DC Comics, Doctor Who, Star Trek, even fucking Transformers, G.I. Joe level franchise. These are all characters that are decades old. Nothing new is being made. And
nobody will talk about breaking up that monopoly either. Like that monopoly is perfectly owning all the imaginations.
Yeah.
They bought up all the and then I remember
Cars is a franchise.
Oh yeah. I went to animation school and I remember Disney was notorious as like the shittiest company. Like animators, like Tim Burton, that was the big, remember what is it, The Nightmare Before Halloween, that Disney basically stole from him? Because he had a contract that whatever he comes up with after he leaves is theirs or some nonsense.
Oh, God.
And then they must have worked it out because he did more stuff with them later. But
because he had
everybody knew. What'd you say?
Because he had to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because
oh
they
wait,
owned his
that's why he
shit.
did. Why
Yeah,
did he have
that's-
to?
Because I mean, it's either I don't get to do it, or I'll at least get to work with the people who stole the shit from me. I mean, that's
Because that's crazy. They stole that. I remember hearing about that. It was the craziest. Like, wow, these are like But I mean, even the company at the start, wasn't Walt Disney a complete fucking douchebag, basically?
Yeah.
He was.
Well, I mean, people have been pointing out that if you're going to cancel Dr. Seuss, who did some propaganda art back in World War II, drew some stuff that we probably wouldn't draw today, but like was one of the best human beings who ever lived, as far as giving away money, getting kids to read, feeding kids.
What was the art? Wait, was the art on America's side or the?
It was on America. Well, America's side, obviously.
Oh, it was like those Bugs Bunny,
propaganda shit, yeah.
racist. Oh, that's what really?
No,
that's
and
what
then there's some stuff in the books. There's some stuff. There's Asian caricatures in the books, in some of the older books. It's like, so fucking what?
Yeah, that's kind of.
But not the
Isn't
ones.
one
I didn't understand that. It's not the ones that. Did they ban like Cat in the Hat, or did they like?
No.
Oh.
No. Wasn't it one just with an Asian man with? Like,
it'll get
Asian
to the
food?
point though. It'll get to the point where they ban Cat in the Hat.
He had like yellow skin, and that was enough.
Okay.
It was just like it was just a stereotype. It'd be just like if you put a British guy and it'd be in a bowler hat with an umbrella and a suitcase.
It was like a Japanese man wearing traditional Japanese clothing, and Chinese man wearing traditional Chinese clothing. It's several. There's like 6 of them.
These weren't these were Dr. Seuss characters. These weren't men.
Yeah,
So
these
they
were Dr. Seuss characters.
Dr. Seuss characters. But like eBay was pulling the sales and all. I don't know. I guess you could still buy the book somewhere, and at least the New York Library came out and said they're not going to pull the books.
That's good.
Fucking 1930s Germany.
Fucking UCSD library. That library is called the Dr. Seuss. It's the Ted Geisel Library. It's called the Geisel Library because he paid for it. His wife paid for it. My dad helped her with the financing of that, and they're talking about ripping the name off. Are you going to give back that fucking $10 million?
Are you serious?
And Jeremy, I don't know if Trunks covered this at all, but are they doing any plans to take away Seuss Landing?
Yes. The discussions are already happening for at Universal Studios Orlando.
Oh my God!
I thought that was the spot where.
And again, the fact that this is even a conversation is a loss. Like the fact that this is even a conversation that's happening, and even if they don't do it now, eventually it will get to the point they will come after all of this stuff, and it's this person, okay, he didn't maybe directly support this, but he knew someone that happened to know someone who was connected to something that we're offended by. Like we are in
somebody 30 years 6 degrees of wokeness. 6 years. This person knew somebody who knew somebody who knew somebody who had.
It will never fucking end.
It will end. It will fucking end if, like, say Universal Studios gets rid of Seuss Landing, then fucking make them pay. Do not go to fucking Universal Studios. Shut everything down. Like that's how we have to stop this shit. Again, I met him a couple of times through my pops. I talked to Audrey Geisel more than I talked to Ted because he died. I was in my teenage years. Those were a bit reckless, but my dad was his accountant. They were the coolest fucking people you could possibly meet. Not a racist bone in their body, obviously. They were philanthropists, like beyond philanthropists. I mean, Audrey gave away all her fucking money when she died. So, I mean, like, they help so many fucking people, and they're being erased right now, and it's fucking disgusting. And they're better than anybody trying to cancel them. I mean, these people, it's fucking bullshit. But yeah, it stops when we stop it at this point.
It is so fucking infuriating. I am so pissed off over this. I really do. I got to the point now where I want to see everything fucking burnt to the ground that's touching wokeness right now. Come up with our own culture. Come up with our own entertainment. I think at this point, Hollywood entertainment's fucking dead. I am so pissed about this.
They can't come up with anything comics because all they do is destroy.
Yeah, exactly.
Kurt,
at this point, I just want to become the accelerant. Kurt. I want to be the gasoline. I want them to burn their shit down to the ground faster.
I mean, you just got to not buy it anymore.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's the reason why I talk about the Superman movie with Ta-Nehisi Coates being the writer for it. It's like I want it to be the wokest pile of garbage that's ever existed.
Yeah,
and I want the normies to wake up and see this shit, and I want it to fail so badly.
It will be. Kurt, how fucked up is it being a comedian right now? You know, compared to.
I mean, there's no. I mean, I don't even remember how to do. I haven't done comedy. Like I'm more of a micro influencer. I don't know. I'll know when I get on stage again. Like everything's like shut down out here. I did like Zoom show. I mean, like stand up was always a place you could do whatever. Like stand up's the lowest rung of all. Like, you know, I really was into being a stand up when I got into it, so I wasn't like worried about getting other. Some people, you know, they're trying, or like how people do comics to get a Netflix deal. Like it's that thing for them. So stand up was always, because that's like the lowest class thing of, you know, like I'm below a magician and I'm below a ventriloquist.
Oh, you're above a YouTuber though, so don't worry.
A porn star, like porn stars.
Yeah, you are above a YouTuber.
Their plan B of porn stars is to do stand up. That's how the comedy stars always like porn stars.
Now they just start Twitch channels.
Yeah, like retired athletes that do comedy. That's what porn stars do.
But you see, like on Netflix, you see what's it, Ilana Glazer or whatever.
She's an improv type.
Fucking shit! It's not comedy. It doesn't even encroach on funny, and yet it's there. It's there, and they're on stage, and they're just like, "Oh, I was making cocktails, and if my cocktails were my sexuality, it'd be 2 parts hetero and 1 part queer. I'd call it a."
Time of the month.
If you reenacted it, I would watch it.
Yeah, but stand-up
I can
comedy.
watch that one. I'd give
Ilana Glazer's. She's not a stand-up. She's some improv person. Like whenever you see a thing,
but she's on Netflix with this stand-up show, and it's like a tour she did.
She has an audience from that. If you have an audience, the thing is bewildering is the stuff where it like doesn't have an audience. You know, like those Batwoman. The only audience is as being mad. It's not a mystery. Ilana Glazer heard that she had to show people like, but I don't get the shows where I'm like, who's watching this? Is this like a tax write-off?
It's just utter garbage. It's like, and that's comedy. This is today's comedy.
Well, I mean, you can find funny shit. Like I like Tim Dillon's show a lot. Like a bunch of people I know started podcasts and just make their own stuff.
Yeah.
It's not, you're not just going to get it from, basically the best way, if somebody else says to me, like every job is a corporate now. So when I started comedy, there were corporate jobs where you'd entertain some office and you have to be super clean and like, not just clean, but like, you know, before woke was a thing, that's what you had to be. And it paid a lot of money. And they sucked. And some people just, or like being a cruise comic or something, like some people just got into that specifically because they made money at it. And now every gig is a corporate gig. There's no more gigs that are like outside the lines of HR standards of what you can say or do. And they made it so everybody, whether you, like I took this job to not ever have to live that way, the way like some suit monkey fucking business jerk has to live. So I could feel superior, even though I'm very stupid, you know? And and it was working for a while. And then they're like, no, we're doing away with that. We all answer to the same. You all have the rules of that I had in my college, like we're in school together.
But stand-up is still, like, once we're allowed to do it again, I guess we can do it in Texas and Florida still. It's still like the modern-day philosopher. I don't think it's that low of a rung, personally. I mean, when Comedy Central started...
It's not artistically. That's the thing. It's not artistically because these people all want to do it. They can't do it.
Yep.
But it still doesn't get the respect. I think like Jon Stewart said it, but he was right. Like
it's the hardest fucking thing to do.
Well, if you could draw,
making people laugh is difficult.
But if you could draw or play an instrument, or like people think that, like Jon Stewart said, people think it's magic, but everybody thinks they're funny. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Even before this, everybody thinks they're fucking. I thought that's how I thought before I did it. You know, had to try doing it. It's like a shitty little like, you know. And then people who have the guts become like hecklers, you know, and then like some people stick with it. So it deep down, everybody's like, you ever see the mermaid pillow that they make for little girls now? It's like a affirmation pillow that says like, I'm smart, I'm pretty,
oh my God,
I'm kind. And then the last one says, I'm funny. Somebody new had this for their baby. And I'm like, why does a baby need to say to themselves they're funny? I mean, like she was funny, but she's like 2. Everybody's funny with 2. Like, like, let's see her do a fucking hour that was good. That's when you tell this baby. But funny became a new kind of pretty, just like nerd became a new kind of pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Once this shit becomes trendy, it's like the at midnight Chris, what's his name period before it, like, you know, when being a nerd started to mean being a guy with like expensive jeans. like everything's a pretty now. So like that's why And I noticed that. I remember when like all the video game shit came out, and I didn't like Gamergate merely because I hate gate being put on things, but the actual substance of it, I was like, oh yeah, that is a thing. And they tested it. The people that had this little oh, they're nerds. We can do it on their shit first and see how it works. And that's where you get your like Arnita Sarkeesians.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the new Jack Thompson's a woman, and like that's test marketing. Like I'll bet she didn't know what she was gonna like speak out against, and she was like, I'm gonna try video games because those boys like it.
It's pretty male dominant. That's a good pick. Yeah.
No,
Wait, Gary said that. You said it was did you say it to me? It was like the wall that wasn't being watched, like in Game of Thrones, like nerd shit, where the infiltration of like.
When they just saw a woman coming in, they're like, "Oh, here you go, madam."
Yeah, that's right. I bet they miladied a lot of a lot of LARPers took their cape off and laid it on a puddle.
Actually, yeah.
McQueen.
The Walter Rally you.
Sorry to jump in, but I gotta head out later.
Odin, thank
Layers
you for
Odin.
coming in. Thanks, Mr. Odin. His link is in the description for both of his channels. Please subscribe early and often. Thanks,
Buy
buddy.
a Nerdrotic
Beautiful
shirt as well.
Yes, buy a Nerdrotic shirt.
Later.
See ya, Odin.
Later, Papa Odin.
Buy a Nerdrotic.
It's a good shirt.
Wow.
Hello.
More balds.
Hello. More balls.
We got more balds.
Oh, we got a line. We got a line.
Tom is very clean shaven.
Bingo.
You have a bald line, yeah.
You got a line.
It's literally the receding hairline.
It looks
This
like
is what happened to Jeremy.
oh my god. You and Az should fight like Vision and White Vision.
Vision so white. Hashtag Vision so white.
Oh, speaking of WandaVision, you want to see nerd level 12 guys? Listen, Solve for X. Bless your heart. You're the kind of nerd that we all love. You're into WandaVision. You have been blasting me with this tweet over the last couple 3 live streams. So we are going to show your thing, and apparently it was banned from a Marvel Reddit because he was. I guess you were right about something. So this is a Catane Soul, and he solved the what was it? He solved the hex cipher. The hex cipher from WandaVision, which apparently kind of laid it all out and told you what she was. Now I know the lore, okay? I'm aware of the lore, and I'm not too sure if you were right or wrong about this because they didn't say her name. So the Scarlet Witch is a Nexus being where she is basically the same through all the alternate realities. She's still the Scarlet Witch, right? So here we go. I want to make sure I get the right one. There we go. So let's see if we can follow this. All right. This is the hex cipher. This is nerd level 12, maybe 13 here. So according to Solve for X, the Salem witch trials began 1692, and there's 272 years between where Scarlet Witch appears to us. If 2 times 7 times 2 equals 28, 2 times 8 equals 16, 1 times 6 equals 6. The road signs, what? Go on.
Okay, I'm following it. All right.
Yeah, the road signs, Ellis and Rolling Hills, first letter, second letter are 1 + 2 + 1 + 2 equals 6. And then Blood at Help Me Rhonda, which I'm lost here, takes letters.
It was the second episode where Dottie or whatever cut herself.
Yes.
And it was Help Me Rhonda, help me get. That was playing on the radio.
So take letters in same order from sign. E equals second letter, L equals third letter, R equals seventh, O equals ninth, 2, 3, 7, 9. So 2 times 3 times 7 times 9 equals 378. 3 times 7 times 8 equals 168. 1 times 6 times 8 equals 48. 4 times 8 equals 16. 6 times 1 equals 6, and it's Elro. And if you, I guess, rearrange that through his little mathematical formula there, her name is Lore. Okay, there is a character named Lore that is Scarlet Witch. That is a multiverse character, but I don't think they came out and said that was her name. She just became the Scarlet Witch. So you might.
I also don't think anyone did this.
No. I don't think anybody went this far. This is, and I don't think anybody, and maybe they did this on purpose, or maybe you figured it out because I mean, you see the codec of reality. Maybe, I don't know, dude.
I'm gonna say it's a cosmic coincidence.
Yeah,
that seems like some weaponized autism.
Yeah, I think that if we took 3 hours, we could probably find another way in which it actually works to get to your end. Like that, to me, you can't tell me that you just put these together. You had a start point and you had an end point, and you tried to figure out.
Is this what
was
Kabbalah is?
Yeah, pretty much. It might as well be.
But I
mean, that is impressive.
Right.
Yeah,
this is a person, a crazy person did this.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just. Yeah.
Hey, there's people locked down. They got a lot of time. It's all right.
Yeah, I mean,
right,
that is
prison,
awesome.
That is what you do in prison. Is like figure
This is
out the hex of
This is a step before you invent your own time machine.
Yeah.
I also feel like it's
why not
really
cure COVID with your fancy formulas?
Yeah.
You know what your time would have been better spent.
I just see massive virginity going across. That's just like, that's a fucking roll call for virginity, isn't it? Really?
I was right about the period angle of the show, though, right? Look at all.
I think you're
Help me, Ron. I need a tampon.
I think you're onto something there. But the cipher hex might be right in Doctor Strange. I didn't really get it out of this episode because you obviously put more thought into it than the writers did.
That's why I don't
usually the
believe
case.
it. Because I think that this dude's probably way smarter than anyone that was writing the show. Like,
and knows more about Marvel than anybody writing the show. Even the deified Kevin Feige has always said he's more of a Star Wars fan than he is a Marvel fan. There was that. Right. Yeah, it's not like he was going to the comic shop every week. Kevin Feige was not doing that. He was aware. But yeah, he probably gave up collecting comics in high school or whatever. But hey, dude, well done. I mean, like, damn.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, I don't think it means anything at all in any way, shape, or form, but that's some fucking damn fine work you put in there. So good job.
We go to Scarlet Witch here. They've retconned. See, Scarlet Witch is now the most powerful fucking being, I guess, in the Marvel Universe next to Captain Marvel, just to show you that they've retconned her powers 1,000 times from when she was just Scarlet Witch. Her intelligence is normal. Her strength is normal. Her speed is normal. Her stamina is athlete. Her durability is normal. Her agility is normal. Her reflexes are athletic. Fighting skills, basic Avengers, hand-to-hand combat. Special skills and abilities, trained in sorcery by Agatha Harkness. Superhuman physical powers, none. So when Vision was crushing her head and you heard it cracking, he was literally cracking her skull. Ability to affect probability fields to cause occurrences of various unlikely phenomena, including spontaneous combustion of flammable objects, rapid rust or decay, or organic or inorganic materials, deflection of objects in flight, disruption of energy transmissions or fields. Special limitations, Hex Power has a 20% unreliability factor, range of Hex limited by line of sight. She cannot create shit out of nowhere, or she couldn't for a long, long time. That is,
I thought that was. Well, didn't they leave it open by just saying her powers? She's weird. That's like because what you just read, they didn't want to sum up and.
He's quick. She's weird. No, the other way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That was from the official handbook of the Marvel Universe in the 80s. So a lot of shit has changed since then, but. I've always just felt like that they've been amping up the women's powers because DC embarrassed Marvel when the first Wonder Woman came out and did well.
And they've been saying that Monica Rambeau is now the third strongest.
Yes.
I think at the end of the day, like you can change the powers, you can do all that stuff. More powers, more tits. That's what I want to see, right?
I think
more powers, more tits. If you do that, I'm gonna be happy.
Power girl.
Yes, Power Girl. Ooh.
Yes, boob window. We all love the
Power Girl had that window in the
boob window.
Yeah, Kryptonian window.
I don't know.
Look at this right here. I'll show you guys. Kind of slight change of subject, but I just saw this. This is the mainstream or the mainstream games media with that Hogwarts story when he first
Hogwarts.
Like, Hogwarts. I don't watch fucking Harry Potter, so look at the signal. Like, this is a person that had a different opinion, and he got completely destroyed by these games journalists who don't care about video games. They only care about being activist. And now this person has been forced to resign because the mob came after him.
He did have to resign his job?
He did resign.
Yeah, these are probably people that all know each other, because what happens is they all network, and it's not.
Yes.
It's not even fucking activism. None of that's real. That's like, I believe a lot of these places still pay them by the fucking clickbait. So you gotta like. So they write this stupid thing, and then a separate person makes the shitty headline. It's never the guy the person that writes it. It's an editor who's maximizing it for the most like internet outrage damage that they can make.
Yep.
And then they call each other up with like hot tips on nothing. Like, basically this story, other than this guy having to lose his job, the story was nothing happened. That was basically the information they were putting. Just so you know, nothing happened that matters at all. And then they do it. They get all together and use their Scarlet Witch hex powers. And
what they're really upset about? What they're really upset about is the fact that this guy was supportive of a movement that was originally intended to be a critique of games journalism.
Yeah,
right?
why would
That games journalists had a masturbatory relationship with the developers, that they weren't actually reporting on things, that they had an agenda.
Yeah, right.
And then they are mad about that. And all of them took the opportunity to label him far right, which he's definitively not, to label him anti-woman, like all of this bullshit.
he had very mild fucking arguments too. Like
it's boring.
They're not. There's not a thing that he said. They don't mention like how he said something bad. They just go, he had anti-feminist videos, and they don't give any specifics. That's a real by design.
Oh, of course.
Imagine being offended by this guy and then watching mine or Ryan's channel. Like
that was my reaction. I was like, I watch his channels. The dude doesn't swear. He doesn't yell. He's very analytical. Yeah,
Ryan's hair is more controversial than this shit.
He was violent. It was an attack that he made. I mean, Harry Potter is such like a dude. Like, as a franchise, that has the most of these kind of awful types are Harry Potter fans. They weren't like Star Wars people. They were Harry Potter people. That's why so much circles around how fucking Harry Potter, like J.K. Rowling every other day. Because millennial twits that are into this shit, like Harry Potter was their Star Wars.
Well, they grew up
after I read it, this was my reaction. After I saw that, I was just done. That's where I'm at with it. If Gary will share my screen.
I was gonna say I can.
Yeah.
What was George Lucas got while the getting was good? He's probably sitting there thinking, "Oh shit! At least they yelled at me was Jar Jar Binks. It could have been worse."
You know what sucks for that guy? I bet you that's not a job he was like, "This is my dream job." Even like,
well, he was the lead. He was a lead designer. I mean, that's a pretty big deal.
I'm sure he made himself care about the job to be professional, but like, nobody's dream of video game is to make a fucking Harry Potter awful game.
No, but it's lucrative and it probably gets you a lot of other deals because like. It's a big name, no name.
Yeah, right.
That was kind of a big thing, and like he made a video about it on his channel, even talking about how he's been hired for it. And the thing was, he was like, I just closed my YouTube channel to Warner Brothers and Avalanche Games, and they're completely fine with it. They don't agree with everything I say, but they're also focused just on making games.
Mm-hmm.
Why did
that wasn't?
Why the fuck
so they were aware of this up front.
Money, because if they did that, if that happened, so he must resign because they're like, look, just we'll pay you, and I'll bet you anything. They paid him because
he claimed it. And what did he say on Twitter? He made the statement on Twitter, right, Ryan?
He's saying that he resigned. It's not like he's been canceled or anything. He's leaving on good terms. That's what he tried to say. He's going to put a YouTube video out about it.
I bet you that means they still paid him. Probably. That's what I would guess that means. Otherwise, why would you do that?
And here's the thing. Like, this went for like 10 days without anything happening, without him being fired. But if you remember a few days ago, I don't know if anyone here does, but they leaked to a member of the press that, by the way, there's going to be some transgender character creation options for you guys. That's good now, right? We're all good now, right? No, they weren't, because that's never enough for these people. The people that don't want J.K. Rowling associated, they don't want her living anymore. They said, that's great, but a lot of other games do this, and it doesn't excuse you having a transphobe involved in this. That was all of the reaction. It backfired huge. So I think that failed virtue signal led to them ultimately doing this with Tim Levitt.
Troy. Do you think J.K. Rowling wanted to cancel him because he included the trans in the game? And she's so hateful that she was like, no, not in my game.
Probably.
Harry Potter is all fucked up, man. It's all fucked. I mean, they all hate J.K. And but they love the lore that she created. But then it's just so fucked.
What do they think is going to happen, though? Do they think she's just going to sell it all off, or somebody's just going to come and take it away from her, or something like that?
She's not even involved in the game. Like, she's going to get royalties, but she has nothing to do with this.
But again, that doesn't matter, Ryan. You know this better than anybody. You know,
they don't care. Association, and it doesn't even matter. Like you guys were just saying before I come in, you could have dated somebody 30 fucking years ago who looked at somebody the wrong way, and now you're guilty by association. I mean, Henry Cavill did nothing to nobody. I mean, and now they're already going after him because of the whole Gina thing too. You know,
they did the same thing with Sebastian Stan with his girlfriend because she wore a kimono or something like that.
Let me ask you that. Is that right?
You didn't hear about that?
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
These people are fucking mental.
Yes. Yeah, that was the thing.
Okay, but was she posing for a Dr. Seuss drawing when she wore?
No, she may have been. No, it was Halloween. She wore kimono for Halloween.
Oh my!
Or it was a Chinese dress or something like that. I
would like to see Halloween, like every celebrity's Halloween costumes. Like I love the picture of Chrissy Teigen in her squaw and cowboy thing. Which like because these are the people that should be. Like you're like, oh, why doesn't anybody stick up? Like all these people that are like the little darlings of like this horse shit, you know, kind of like gossip press. Like that's the people allowing this to happen.
They went after Chris Hemsworth too because he had a Cowboys and Indians party.
I just want people to think about
Cowboys and Indians party.
How many
of these Cowboys and Indians?
That's it.
Oh, like Native
that was
Americans.
literally it. Yeah.
I thought you meant like Indians, like up.
Sorry, don't you mean colonizers and Native Americans?
Yes, colonizers.
That's a weird. Is that like an Australian thing? Because that is a weird thing. Even when I was a kid, that was a strange thing to do. That was like the end of.
We played Cowboys and Indians when I was a kid.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just distracted.
We played Cowboys and that Washington football team.
Think about the source of all of this stuff. It's not Facebook generally. It's not Instagram generally. It's fucking Twitter. It's Twitter. It's always fucking Twitter. It's such a fucking trash fire.
Because that's where those fucking shitty journalists, those like discount rate, you know, paid by the click fucking people, that's where they get all their news and shit from. So it's really, I mean, they're the ones, the press, they're why it sucks. Almost exclusively the press. Like, the Tumblr, like whoever spills in from Tumblr, I guess.
The digital outlets is what kind of fucked everything up. That really kind of started back in 2012.
Yeah,
I almost deleted like all Geeks and Gamers accounts and everything, and I'm planning on doing it once our app launches. I fucking hate it, dude. I told everybody I unlocked my fucking account. I'm not tweeting from that fucker. I'll retweet some live streams and shit. Fuck this goddamn platform, man. It's fucking trash, man. It really is. Like I have no desire to be on there. And you look at it. I mean, you have social media stuff here, and yet I'm not saying like every single problem, but like the heavy majority of these issues are from this Twitter nonsense. It really is Twitter.
Well, I think it's that blue check mark that gives them that perceived power.
I have a blue check mark, and I call it the thin blue check mark that separates society from chaos.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad El Presidente Dave Portnoy told him to go fuck their check mark. He won't accept it from.
Is there something that fucking thing? Like I didn't realize that's such a thing. Like they created a class system of.
They really have, man.
I had no idea that was a thing, and then like I started seeing. Did you tell? Maybe one of you guys told me like, I'm still the same just because I have a blue check mark.
Yeah. There were legit posts like that.
That's
just
amazing.
Because I got a blue check mark now doesn't mean that I'm not like you. I am still like one of you.
That's why corporations love woke idiots, because woke idiots look at that as currency instead of real money. The corporation gets real money, and then they're going to pay you in blue check marks and shit.
Oh,
that's why it's such a synergy with them.
Yeah, but they're going the extra step now for the blue check marks, and that's where I think this whole Twitter paying for the Twitter thing is coming in.
Oh, really?
Is to add that extra paywall for protection and to make the blue check marks seem even more important.
Who fucking cares?
I know, right? But no, it is. I think Jeremy's right in that respect that it is one of the cores of the problem.
Yeah, your chat.
Real fuckers going crazy because somebody wore a fucking kimono to a party. That anyone in the fucking world that gets raged about that is.
By the way, when somebody says that, like, my culture is not a costume, isn't that literally what you're what it is? Like, it's just your thing, your costume you wear, like.
Yeah, but you got like that kid. You remember when that poor little lass went to the prom with a boyfriend, and she wore the beautiful like Asian.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And then this Asian kid was just like, my
culture is not your
costume. And he was there, right? Chinese kid, Asian kid, fucking jeans, blue jeans, American, white t-shirt, fucking snapback baseball cap, American. It's all American. So are you culturally appropriating America?
I mean, specifically,
so you take those fucking clothes off then, put your fucking walk on and fuck off.
It's black American specifically. They're all copying. All these people saying that. That's it. Like, if whatever your ethnicity, if your kids dress like black teenagers, then your people have made it. Unless you are black, and then they have to. Then it's bad for them. But everybody else, if you're Asian or whatever, and your kids dress like black teenagers, then don't tell me you're oppressed, because that's like the classic sign that you've made it.
It's stupidity. It's just stupidity. And because it's getting tolerated by fucking organizations and stuff like that, that's what gives them the power, not the fucking blue fucking digital mark.
Yeah.
That's what gives them their actual power. It's being tolerated because people who, aren't, not enough people are turning around and go, right, you are actually mentally fucking ill.
Well, I think a lot of people kind of miss the point now. Now is like the prime opportunity to fuck with corporations and companies. I mean, we saw the whole thing with the Amazon box and said, hey, it's a Hitler mustache. It's a smile with a Hitler mustache. Now is the time to find shit to fuck with these companies.
Oh, yeah.
Was that a prank?
People were like legit pissed about it, and Amazon went and they changed the icon for the app.
Yeah, that really is the only, like, doing those kind of
4chan the shit out of them. Yeah,
4chan.
Because I thought that was a 4chan. It sounded like a 4chan.
It used to be 4chan. Now it's the SJW is getting bent over stuff. It's like, but for the rest of us, man, now is the opportunity to start fucking with these companies.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we need to start looking at sales.
Oh, there we go. Tom's got it.
Let's try finding all the little things and go crazy. But comics, you talk about fucking with corporations. Disney, fucking Star Wars is getting fucked left, right, and center.
Dude, I literally am pulling up their YouTube channel as you're saying that, just because I was wanting to look. So the latest video has 38,000 views. It's getting ratioed to hell.
They didn't even put the Leox one on there, did they yet?
No.
Well, no, it's only
there it is,
they
right
pulled
there.
it down from Instagram.
You mean The Rock?
The Rock, yes.
Fucking Rock.
The fucking Rock. A pet fucking Rock. Like I said,
what the
Charlie Browning
navigator.
They literally are giving us a rock.
Look at all the comments. All the comments are just a Gina quote. That's all the comments. How many comments? We have 6,000 comments.
And most of them are Gina quotes. You're right, Jeremy.
Gina.
We went through them the other day Russian
too.
bots.
It's Russian.
That's what they'll tell you they are.
It's just Russian bots.
Yep, that's all it is.
Why does Russia hate diversity? That's why I don't get. What did the lady? What is she saying in that video? Like what?
Bounding into comics, Star Wars.
I didn't share audio, but it's just a more.
It's literally no. It's the first thing there is it's talking about getting the Razor Crest into the Galaxy of Heroes game. So there's a couple High Republic things.
Was there
there.
Baby Yoda in the background? It was just Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda everywhere.
Yeah,
in the background.
that's all it is, Baby Yoda.
Why was it a school librarian telling me about this exciting story?
Oh my God,
Gary! If you just quickly click on this, this is
Kurt.
This This is the state of Star Wars today.
If you saw, oh, well, we can go into a whole conversation about librarians invading the comic book industry, like literally invading.
That is what happened, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Scholastic.
There, yeah. The new character is just a rock.
It is.
Wait, I can't read. Will you make it so
Scroll up.
It's a
Scroll up a
bigger?
little bit.
It's like a little small to read. Okay, what does it say?
So Star Wars.
Oh, it's an embarrassment. I didn't know if it was a.
So what's the character?
His name's
An
Geode.
artistic representation of it.
What?
To be fair, that is not actual.
No, this
art.
is
No, the actual one looks worse.
Yeah, this is an artistic representation of
What's the
new
actual
character
thing?
looks
What's
like.
the actual thing?
I thought that was real.
It's just a rock.
It's still on
It's just
StarWars.com,
a
but they
rock.
pulled down the video. We were showing it this
Is there an
morning.
image of it somewhere?
I see what I can grab for you here.
What's the
Hang on.
character's
Wasn't
name?
there something on Instagram?
It was, but it got pulled down because obviously the comments and shit must have got ratioed to
Is
hell.
it a diverse rock? Well, you know, a little bit, I guess.
It's a perceived rock.
What
so.
are the rock's
Trans
pronouns?
rock.
I need to know the rock's pronouns right now.
Granite and bedrock.
So wait, there's a guy,
Limestone.
a character named Geode, and that's what.
Yes,
yeah.
and it's an actual rock.
He got like a bad. What did they use? Like a Star Wars name generator to make these? Their names are terrible.
Well, if you think that's something, you should find here. We'll find out about Leo X's gay eye. I mean, whatever his name is now.
Well, it's Leo Giassi, but
Yeah,
if you flip it
Giassi.
around, it's Leo
Leo
the 10th is
Giassi.
gay.
Yes.
He looks like a. Oh yeah, can't say that word. I was gonna say.
Are you actually holding back, Ryan?
Well, yeah, I can't say that one. I can't say that one. Not on any platform.
Very. I wish I had seen
okay. Here we
any
go.
of these.
Is this Harry?
Yeah, it's the best version I could find of it.
For the rise of the empire, prosperity, pioneering, and adventure marked the era of the High Republic. Leox Jossi is the eccentric pilot of a vessel known simply as the Vessel, co-pilot Happy Hollow, and navigated by Geo, who appears to be a rock.
That fucking rock.
It's a slum. It's a slum.
Chuck it on back.
When a group of Jedi
Thwomps
who
have more
appears to-
personality, at least.
There, that thing on there.
Why are the drawings fucking terrible? Like, why?
That's the new
what is this-
character.
It's so bizarre. It looks like marketing for a fucking.
I hate.
It's the
It's like
monolith from
I hate
2001.
Star Wars. I hate Star Wars so
Who drew
much.
that?
I bet you it's a fucking. It was not even drawn. I bet you.
It was like drawn like bad on purpose.
Jeremy, at least The Rock doesn't have an SJW haircut.
You know what? Actually,
Not
I
yet.
figured it out. It's a fucking gravestone. Somebody put Star Wars on it.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much it.
All right.
That's it.
Star
Don't
Wars.
say something you can't take back.
Died
It isn't.
2012.
At this point, it is. They've got a ship called Ship. The fucking co-pilot is a black lady and a fucking rock. They've Charlie Browned us. They've literally give us a fucking rock. You know, it's just.
Are you at least happy that
a black lady.
It's so fucking on the nose.
So,
the rock
now-
is named Geo, the ship is named Vessel, and
Oh,
Yeah,
my
this is
God.
like what, a few days after we learn about the wooden lightsaber.
The man's called gay and the woman's called black.
And the rock. Is
What is
called
the
Rock.
what's the deal? So they posted this on Instagram and then they deleted it because they got
Yeah.
ratioed. Is that what happened?
Well,
Yeah,
there's a lot of comments.
People were commenting under the Instagram post.
Does anybody out there in
Just
the audience?
ripping the shit out of it.
have-
Ripping the shit out of it.
Does anybody in the audience have a screenshot of that they can?
If so, throw it on Twitter,
throw it on
tag
Twitter,
somebody.
please.
I
Well,
saw Anna posted something, but I don't think it shows many of the comments.
I was going to say, yeah, because I posted it earlier when we had it live on our morning show, but I didn't see any of the other comments, and then it was gone
Oh, hey,
before we had a chance to really do much with it.
Paramount Plus had a live stream yesterday.
Oh, yes, they
And
did.
they left the chat up for a little while. They had to
They left
take
the
down
what
the
up?
stream.
Well, you need some context for this, Gary.
Okay, so Paramount Plus launched yesterday, right? So they were showing a bunch of Star Trek trailers, and they were going to show episodes, like full episodes of Lower Decks on YouTube. And you guys were live streaming. I was recording a video, so I just check in once in a while when I'm like between recording, and I saw that you guys had the chat up. But when I went over, the chat was already down because I was gonna go. I was like, oh. And by the time I got there, the chat was down. Now I didn't see why it was taken down. There was some guy you were fighting with because
Shane.
Because somebody said something transphobe or something like that, but that wasn't what they said.
I keep thinking that show's called Star Trek Upper Decker. Like I mix it up with the.
No, it is. It is an upper decker.
It's an upper decker. It's an upper decker. So why did they take the stream down? You think, Tom?
Okay, well, first of all, we got alerted to it, so we went over there, and it was funny because we had more viewers live than they did. So we're like, head on over there, guys, and give them some views, because they were in the middle of Picard first episode, because they had showed every first episode of every show. Is what they were doing. And they had gotten, of course, to Discovery and Picard when we started. So somebody alerted us to it. So people started popping up in the chat and, they were talking some smack here and there. But most of it was just like, Midnight's Edge sent me here. Gary was right. Doomcock rules or Doomcock was right. That kind of stuff. So they shut the chat down. Then they brought it back up. So then we went back over there and started doing it some more. So then they shut the chat down again for a third and final time. And as soon as Lower Decks was done, they deleted the whole thing.
Yeah. Wow. And it was supposed to go all day. They had timestamps of episodes that they were going to air.
Yeah,
that is hilarious.
So this little asshat comes in our chat, and he's going, "You transphobic fuckers got it shut down."
Why
We're
was
like, hold up. And I'm like, going back and forth with him in the chat, and finally it got a little heated. So I'm like, all right, stop. I'm like, Shane, I can't do this show without you. Come in, Shane. And so for like 2 hours, we got Shane to come in, and we talked to an SJW for about 2 hours.
Oh.
And by the end of the show, he had apologized to us, apologized to the chat and Mecca. I don't know if things will change for him, but I'm like, dude, just take this as a lesson that we're not what you say we are. And he was trying to, we kept backing him in a corner and said, where's your proof? And he couldn't prove it. And I went back and checked the show, and I didn't see any of the things he was claiming, and so did Script Doctor. And I got a couple of screen grabs of the things that were said on our end, but they're kind of blurry, so I don't know if you want to show them or not.
If anything transphobic is said, that like YouTube shuts that down. The Google moderators are watching this shit all the time. Like I saw Google moderators taking out stuff in Sporking's podcast.
Yeah, they were deleting all kinds of stuff. Yeah. They were, but nothing. But I got some screen grabs here. I'll bring them up.
Yeah,
God, imagine.
I don't know how well they'll show up though.
Imagine how hard it is to be a guy that works on transmissions now. And
wait.
Just like your whole nomenclature has to change.
It does.
Yeah. You can't say certain words anymore because it's transphobic.
But you didn't say
never mind the fact you're referring to a car part.
But the thing is, this guy is just like, when you first said that, it sounded to me like the guy, it's not that you said anything, right? It's the guy thinks it's transphobic not to like this show. Is that what it is?
That's the go-to now. It was racist.
That's the new
Nazi.
NPC download is all that is.
He tried to make an accusation that somebody came in and said something transphobe. Well, before we even started saying something, there was already people arguing with the Dreckies in the chat as it was. And the chat wasn't even doing much when we got there. And then as soon as we got in there, then they had to turn the slow mode on. So they started reading about that. They're like, we didn't have to turn the slow mode on until these haters got here. But and they started just deleting stuff like, as you can see here, Captain Robert April just said, come over to Midnight's Edge After Dark for some intelligent conversation. And they deleted that. They were deleting anybody's comments. Like, this is where you can see it's deleted. I know it's kind of really blurry, but like, yeah, and here's the one that says, this show sucks. Gary was right.
Elf and the Menace. I can understand why they'd delete a post that's trying to get people to leave their own stream. I mean, I can understand that.
Yeah.
Well, that I can too, but they were just all of them. Any of us that were saying anything that was like that, they were deleting it left and right. But it was just funny to see people say like the stuff about Gary and Doomcock and stuff in there too. There was some, Doomcock was right. Hail Overlord DVD. Yeah, Overlord DVD says hi, as you see there, if you can read it. But
I would say,
that was it was fucked up.
I would say in the future, kind of let him go for a little while. Let it roll. Let him get comfortable, and then you can kind of roll in. But like Star Trek can't do anything on, and now Star Wars is knowing what Star Trek feels like, because Star Trek gets that shit all the time, and that's why they turn off their comments and Now I think
that's really what we did. We came in right near the end there because they were just finishing up with Picard and going to lower decks, and then it was supposed to end, I think. But I don't know if there was more planned after that or not. That I don't think there was.
Just keep it. I mean, like, as far as the don't let Disney forget, I mean, this is not me officially telling you to go anywhere. You're just speaking your mind as a red-blooded, I guess, member of this planet. And you're allowed to comment on something, and you're not cussing. You're not saying anything. You're just quoting Gina Carano. It's a nice quote. It's truthful, and I don't think you're doing anything wrong. I think you're pointing out Disney's the error of their ways and the fact that they sponsored cancel culture. And now, Bill Burr's afraid to speak up. Jon Favreau's afraid to speak up. Everybody's afraid to speak up. And eventually somebody's going to have to speak up. Somebody's going to have to risk their career. Gina was the first. It's going to have to be somebody else. And until that happens, a few more people are going to get canceled. And it could be you. It could be you.
Well, I did get a couple messages. I don't know about you guys, might have too, throughout the last few weeks here, where just recently one I've gotten of people who are our fans even, and they work in the industry, and they're like, I can't be seen following your guys' channels right now and your guys' streams and even your Twitters because everything's just getting too hot. Yeah. And they've basically been saying we need bigger people to start standing up. They need the people that can afford to weather this storm to start standing up. And until they do, then there's not much we can do. And I know Bill Burr got a lot of crap for there's some people are like, oh, he didn't really, defend Gina. It's like, well, he did quite a bit because he gave them more than enough ammo to take him down if they want to now, because he just simply supported her. All he did was go out there and say she was a sweet, nice person. And that's going to be enough to take him down now, unless other people start standing up. And why am I looking at crying Kevin Smith?
Yeah, I was going to say, why is Kevin Smith crying now?
Well, you really moved Kevin Smith's heart just now.
Yeah, this is Kevin Smith's review of WandaVision.
I figured.
Are you fucking serious? Star Wars.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
Yep.
Damn it.
Is he like an e-girl now? What happened to him?
He is, man. He used to be cool as fuck.
It's
now
so
he's sad,
disappointing,
lame.
Man. Clerks
But is
2,
he really crying? Hold on. Is this
Dogma.
sincere? Like, this is what I'm asking. Is this actually him sincerely
He
crying?
cries at everything.
He cries about every fucking thing.
Like, they were fake the whole time.
He
Like,
looks, you know what this looks like? Like he's one of the.
How bloodshot is on this.
Look, he looks like one of the townspeople in WandaVision, like breaking through their the hex.
I know the pot smokers are going to get mad at me for this. They always do. Anytime I say something against the pot, it's like, oh, listen, smoke your pot. It's great, but I think it might fuck with your levels. Estrogen, testosterone. I don't know. Or maybe it was his brush with death. Although I had a brush with death that was very close to his a couple of times. And like I cried when my cat died, and I felt kind of like a pussy doing that. But I like that cat a lot, but like a fucking WandaVision.
Well, maybe he was really disappointed. If you thought you were disappointed with no Doctor Strange,
The whole thing is, like, we know the entire time that this is fake, that she cannot keep this. So, like, a lot of that emotional moment to me doesn't really resonate because you know it from the fucking beginning.
this looks like
I haven't smoked weed in a week. Look
just a contrast, dude. Just a contrast. Crying, that guy that they made fun of because from the Luke Skywalker part, I totally believed his tears. I have to say, because I know that guy's a Star Wars freak. Like this shit, and I've seen this with Kevin Smith a few times. It looks like in North Korea when they have to cry because Kim Jong Un or whoever died, and they got to go. Like it's like you actually have to do this shit now for this stuff.
No, it really feels like Kevin Smith is literally just posting, "Don't cancel me for all the offensive shit I've done in the past because I'm crying over this woman's show right now." I mean, that's
a guy that cries over WandaVision. Come on,
that's what this feel. That's what that feels like.
Dude, I bet you're right 100% because
you look back, look at some of the shit that he joked. Look at some of the jokes.
Boy.
Yeah, look at some of the jokes, especially like in Clerks 2.
Dude, how many gay jokes has he made? Like a lot.
Yeah, exactly, man.
I want to say Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back is one big gay joke.
It is.
Who did they strike back against? The gay community?
Well, they actually, back in the day, Kevin Smith used to be cool because there was this gay organization that went after them, and he basically wrote them a check and said, "Here's your money, go shut up." And that's how he used to do things. Yeah, because they were pissed about some all the gay jokes he had. And he basically wrote him a check and said, "Go away."
That's the two jobs now.
Well, he got boycott as well, didn't he? And he joined the boycotters.
Well, yeah, there's that story, but the thing is he always got away with the gay stuff because his brother's gay, so he'd pull that card, and he had a lot of friends that were gay. But yeah, the funny part of the story that you're talking about is when they were protesting dogma and a bunch of other things, he would go out there against what was it, the Southern something Baptist Church,
the
Westboro. Thank you. Yep.
Church,
Yeah. So like one night they went out there and protested with them. So they all made signs and stuff that were like "fuck Kevin Smith" and all this crap. And then like one of his buddies had one that says "dick tastes yummy."
There's I don't know if it's the Westboro, but there's a church like that goes to Comic-Con every year, and they're right in the gas lamp, in the center of the gas lamp, and they are fucking entertaining, dude. They are so they are so good. I have some good video from the last time we were there. Jeremy, we were there watching that shit. We met Ruthie right next to him. Yeah,
it is just so Kevin Smith's just so damn disappointing, man. It's really bad.
It's bad.
Like a lot of great fat entertainers, as soon as he lost the weight, fuck the shit.
This is where tears come from. These are your tear ducts. Tears don't come from here.
Yeah. This is please don't kick me out of the club.
Please
don't kick me out of the club.
I thought you meant that the weight was all the tears.
Why is Daisy Ridley trending?
Just for the comments about Gina Carano and Ted Cruz
or something like that
a week ago.
Is that why?
Driver Daisy Ridley and Mark Hamill posing for the New York Times promoting The Last Jedi.
Look at the joy.
So much joy.
Look at fucking Mark Hamill. Holy shit! Look at Mark Hamill.
We love this movie.
Making a face like he's looking at naked pictures of Melania.
And Daisy Ridley's just like, thank God Rianne Johnson's here. I would have the roundest head.
She looks like Ruby Rose. I don't know.
She's got a 5 head. She does.
She got a 5 head and a -2 tits. Yeah. So.
Ouch.
I mean, I don't think tits carry the team like
she's
that.
Cute. She's spritey cute. It's hard to,
Hey, let me tell you, what's his name thought she was cute. Too bad he was too black for Disney to allow the romance.
Harrison Ford.
If only he could have been a whiter boy from
Too
Girls.
bad that relationship. Yeah, right. That relationship was never going to happen because of China, not because of anybody else.
That's why Eddie Murphy couldn't be the dragon again in Mulan.
Yeah. Well, and everybody called me crazy for a while too when I pointed out that the only reason in the Fantastic Four why they had Sue Storm adopted in white was because I'm sure somebody said, "Oh, in the Bible Belt, they're never going to allow or go to a movie where you've got a mixed couple as the leads." So instead of casting a black Sue Storm, I'm guaranteeing that's what happened.
The
Bible Belt? I don't think the Bible Belt has any say
no,
over
but
but at that time.
But like, it's not. They're always.
I don't buy that.
They think like people who do that think the worst of people. So like even you're like that's not how they are down there. If you've been down there, the people that run shit, they think that the worst. That's what I'm saying. Everything they put out is like they imagine you're the lowest scum hillbilly. Like,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like. I could totally see that, and it would be ridiculous. Like, and I can see, like, really? That's the thing you think? Because that's why all. You ever see the 5 Heartbeats? And they had their record comes out, and instead of them on the cover, it's just some white children enjoying their music. And it's like, that's like based on how it was in the music industry because these people, that's what they. But it turned out crowds wanted to see the acts. They like them. It's just the money people are always like, I'm not trying to make some anti-Semitism by saying the money people. I just meant investors.
We know what you're talking about.
I don't refer to people, as the money people. I'm not. That is not what I'm getting at. But That's what it is. It's like scared money, and they always imagine you're the lowest form of life. That's how it was so easy with the Ghostbusters thing. Like, oh, these are probably just the worst people, barely human, half man, half bot.
Or they were pandering to China one way or the other, because that's what happened to John Boyega. And then I was going to say, they sit there and virtue signal, like, look what we got. We got Rey, we got, a black Jedi, or at least you think he is, from the trailers and all that kind of stuff. And then they pull the switcheroo on us, and then they go and shrink him in the poster in China.
Yeah.
And, all that kind of crap. And then we learned later on that, it was completely JJ's idea that he wanted to get those two together. But for some reason, they changed that in Rian Johnson's Last Jedi for whatever reason.
Xi Jinping called him personally.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. There we go.
Said Rian.
Do you remember the Doctor Strange, the old, what's her name?
Yes.
Played the Tibetan guy. And I remember that was a big, like, why is a white lady? Because China, you're not allowed to acknowledge the Tibetans exist.
Yes.
Somebody did it, Gary. Steph did it.
Okay, so we've just answered this question. When is it all going to end? When China tells us, basically.
when China takes over. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, like I, for one, because let me tell you about China. What is that? You know what their rules are there. Like, they don't, it's not like YouTube where you'd have no idea what rule you broke or whatever. Like, they don't have proprietary secret rules
very
that
specific.
just change.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could stay out of trouble in China if you wanted. You don't shut up about the government.
Well, basically, you weld yourself into your own apartment, and you should be just fine.
Yeah.
Save the state some trouble there.
They weld you in.
Yeah. So if you do it yourself, they'll go, thanks. Wazapalooza the drunk for $20 says, happy you said my name right, Dad. Logan, are you super chatting? Or are you getting money to do that? Or is it?
I say, quit wasting money, kid.
Or is it Indigo? Indigo, you
No, it's your money, Gary, is what it is.
Indy is not watching this shit. It's not sports or fucking gaming. He doesn't give a shit. That's my oldest son. Joshua Foley, thank you for the $5. And what do you got to say here? I hereby dub your takes on the MCU future complete bullcrap. Enough said. Okay, I mean, I could be wrong. But it's
What is your future? What is your take? I don't remember.
The
it's
MCU.
gonna be dog shit.
It's gonna be
the MCU.
The MCU is the future, where Captain Marvel will be leading the Avengers, and any white male lead will be balanced out with a female villain. Or he'll be surrounded by 5, basically like Black Panther. That was a black male lead, but had to be surrounded by very powerful women because intersectionality right now trumps
I thought his
wokeness.
sister was annoying, that character.
Yeah, she was.
Your science lab looks like a skate park or something. And then, yeah.
Well, no,
she randomly screams colonizer at people.
Yes, she did. The progressive stack changes a little bit, but right now, well, at least at the time. Intersectionality
Here's the thing.
outweighs.
Yeah, okay, colonizer, but then in the end, the moral is trust the CIA. That's the
right.
The fucking...
She's
but she helped them out, right?
No, they write that, well, because they don't think these things through, and plus we're dealing with Hollywood values here, and that's why at the end of WandaVision they just let her go after imprisoning thousands of people because they're like, well, she was a powerful woman.
Yeah.
Like you said,
I understand your pain.
Yeah,
I would have fucked all these people to bring my mom back too.
I would have put a line that was like, "Come on, I fought Thanos, so be cool about this thing. It balances out."
Yeah.
So here's what I'll do, Joshua, and like that's totally cool. You can disagree with me, and I hope you are right and I am wrong. That is my sincere hope. I will be making a video in the next couple of days breaking down why WandaVision foreshadows all of the MCU because, they've been foreshadowing it for years. The comic books were the proving ground, and now Miss Marvel is coming out. She-Hulk by Dana Schwartz is coming out. WandaVision, which was a character who's popular, that people like, managed to be, pretty damn intersectional at the end. Like, very intersectional. So, I think I'm right. I hope I'm wrong, though.
Kumail worked out a lot for you to not acknowledge that he will be he will be the man.
Well, I remember hearing from somebody inside over that was talking about how in Marvel they were no longer allowed to refer to the X-Men as X-Men anymore. They had to be called the Mutants. And what did we hear yesterday?
The Mutants, yeah.
That sounds nicer.
Did they make that? Did they confirm it yesterday? I missed that.
I don't know about a confirmation, but it was supposedly leaked to the Wrap. I think
it was trending, and I swear I clicked on something that was talking about it. But
could somebody pull that article up, please?
Yeah, let me try and find it.
Honestly, like, do you think that's one of those A, just made up, or B, something floated around to see what the reaction is?
No, I'm forgetting her name now, but the co-executive producer at Marvel, and her name. God, why am I forgetting her name?
I can't. It was Illuminati who broke it.
Yeah. Illuminati, the ones that told us that George Lucas was going to do the Andor show fucking 2 years ago. That Illuminati.
Yeah, but to Kurt's point, they do this a lot. They float something out there intentionally to see what the public response will be, to test the waters, and that's what he's asking. And I think there's no doubt that Marvel wants to move in this direction, but they also watch
Victoria Alonso.
Victoria Alonso. She said X people or whatever. Yeah, but. So I do think that it's possible that it would be something floating out there to kind of test the reaction.
Well, even just like the get you talking about it kind of horse shit.
Yeah, because exactly, we saw the Women X completely backfire on Twitch in glorious faction.
Dude, a lot of this press has to generate this shit constantly, and like I don't know that to keep it going. I'm sure they sometimes just put out like this is what they'll hate.
Well, that is some
like
bad Photoshop.
So angry.
Right here. Yeah, this can't be fucking real. Because for one, the mutants, that's an image because you can see it's blurry. It's blurry. Yeah, that's like completely.
It looks like the New Mutants, and they took New out.
Well, that's just something they put up to make it look like the font from the old X-Men cartoon.
Yeah, but I mean,
what is this? Like what news do they break, Ryan? This place?
These are the people who are the same ones that were saying George Lucas was writing on Andor. This was like a year ago, before like even the more recent idiocy when these dumb motherfuckers looked at IMDb, saw George Lucas listed with writing credits on Andor, and said George Lucas is returning when he's listed on every single fucking Star Wars property as a writer.
Yeah.
This is the type of people that are Illuminati.
Hey, Ryan.
We got this covered. They are the same types of people.
Ryan, did you know Siegel and Schuster wrote Superman and Lois? And,
I was very impressed by that.
Yeah, Bill Finger came back from the dead and wrote a Batwoman episode too. IMDb.
I know. It's just incredible. I can't believe those aren't getting the same headlines.
Yeah. So let's see what the what did they got to fucking say here? We're gonna get
these are the types of people I think they just like anything they see on Reddit or 4chan, they just like post. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then every once in a while they might fucking get something right, but for the most part it's bullshit. That's kind of how I see them.
All right.
Who's that guy? He has like the worst Star Wars fucking information. Mike Zero.
Oh, you don't fucking say anything bad about Mike Zero. It will eventually be right about everything because he invents everything first, and then 100 years from now he will be right about it all. No, Mike Zero is like a meme to us. We love Mike Zero because
we know that he's full of shit.
Right?
0% accurate predictions. I used to watch that for like.
No, whenever I first kind of started getting traction on YouTube, I never watched Star Wars YouTubers because Star Wars YouTubers generally have been garbage over the years. So when I started getting traction on YouTube, people, I saw a story from Mike Zero or something. And I referenced Mike Zero. I referenced Mike Zero as a credible Star Wars source.
Better delete that video.
My chat fucking destroyed me over that. And they were like, dude, no.
He reminds me of like a guy that hangs out in a comic shop that like tells you like made up shit. Like some guy told me he knew not Simon.
Well, the funny thing is he repeats the same thing over and over for like 5 minutes.
Oh, Kurt, there are every comic shop owner will know this. Anybody who hung out in a comic shop for any amount of time, there's the lore guy. There's the guy who wants to do alternate lore to all the lore all the time. And he sits there all day, and he's like harmless, and it's a good, but yeah.
That guy was Kevin Smith, and now he's crying in a corner.
Okay, so here's the article here. It says the mutants are coming to the MCU. X-Men. The Illuminati has learned of Marvel Studios-led project produced by Marvel CCO Kevin Feige entitled The Mutants. It's currently being developed as a feature film and is intended to be a reboot of the X-Men franchise. According the Illuminati has it first, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. I wouldn't call that confirmed. Now, Twitter going out.
That's what I said. It wasn't confirmed.
I think that's the fucking, that's not a big website, right?
No.
That's like how they all get. That's how you're supposed to get your start now. Is just like make shit up until you get. That's like
fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
They're also the one. They're also the ones who just reported that. They're also the ones that just reported that Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be in the Andor series. So I guess we'll see if that's true. I guess. Oh.
Is that really happening? The end.
Allegedly,
Juan Solo.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, those things behind the scenes. They've been recording.
I could accept that armor, stormtrooper armor, never blocks a fucking blaster bolt. Okay, fine, but you could beat them up with billy clubs. That's how fucking useless that armor is. You could billy club them. That's like the riot gear police wear, so that you can't billy club them.
But you can.
I don't know what to make of this. I mean, it could be just Twitter trolling. But writing bios today, who wants one? Spider-Man No Way Home says, what do you got for me? And they said, Spider-Man No Way Home starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon or whatever, Tobey Maguire, and Andrew Garfield, only in movie theaters this Christmas. And that's the Twitter account. So, I mean, are they trolling? I guess. Maybe.
No, it's totally set up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought.
Well, and the movie is scheduled to come out at the end of the year, so...
47,000 likes. 47,000 likes. And it made me think of that Doctor Who tweet that came out 3 days ago going, it's been 1 year since The Timeless Children, and it had 1,400 likes. Like, wow. See, healthy, not healthy. Healthy, not healthy. And I don't even like the home movies. Zendaya. She's taller than both Jacob and Tom. Did you notice that? By like a fucking good 6 inches.
Yeah. No, he's a sweet petite little chick with
he's a little puppy, isn't he? Yeah. Well, I guess there you go.
That kid dances. You can tell.
I don't like Zendaya.
Oh yeah, he does.
I think she's. I'm way into Zendaya.
She looks like a kid.
That was like a better. Who was the original one? I didn't like Kirsten Dunst, Mary Jane.
What? Why?
I actually did. I like Kirsten Dunst.
She was fine. She always looked like she was smoking Mary Jane all day long, and she's always got that semi-stone look.
I liked her in that rain scene. She was running around with her titties flopping all over. I like that one.
Boy, there's really a tit-themed thing coming from Ryan.
Ryan needs to get laid.
If there's one thing I got,
Ryan is the romantic among us.
Yeah.
Silver tongue.
I ain't afraid to call it out.
That or he just wants to see some boobs. I mean, maybe that could be it.
Well,
there's Pornhub for
Can I
that.
refer you to a thing called Twitch where you can see a lot?
There's also Twitch. Right? That's right.
If you like gaming and titties,
particularly in women's month. Fucking hell, they're all over the place.
This comes from Phil for $1 from a Streamlabs donation. Thank you very much. He says Gaza, so he must be from I don't know. Calls me Gaza. The people from Australia call me that, but not from the American. I've been listening to the CRA. Oh, Crass. You've been listening to Crass song, White Punks on Hope. Unfortunately, it's more relevant now than it ever was in 1978. Bigotry and blindness, a Marxist con. Another clever trick to keep us all in line. Neat little labels to keep us all apart. Yeah, and it's amazing that the people from Crass have turned into little fucking communists after all that time. Yeah, that's
serious.
Yeah, dude, that's been an evolution of a lot of there's so much disappointment in punk rock. I can't even tell you.
There really is
that have held the
Well,
values.
did they make money from it? Like
Crass didn't. I mean, some of them are cool. Like, not everybody is like this, but yeah, they've become, I mean, a punk rock band siding with the president at all is the most least punk rock thing ever, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, right.
But Crass used to be the real deal. Like, they were like, we had a Crass house, and anybody could go live there, and you could do your art thing as long as you contributed. And they never, I mean, for one, if you listen to their music, you wouldn't be, you're like, okay, I can understand.
I mean,
why.
that sounds like they're being nice communists about it.
Yeah, they are. And the music is, It's an acquired taste. We'll just say crass is.
No, it's crass. Yeah.
It's an acquired taste.
Crass. Yeah.
The name says it all, man.
Yep. Pine Barrens Legend for $5 just gives a $5 donation. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. You help keep the lights on here, and you help pay for people like Perry Chan. He appreciates it.
The legend, Perry Chan.
The legend. Yeah. Hey, I'm a nerdrotic. Or no, hey, I'm a nerdachi. A nerdachi for $3. So, WandaVision sucked. Thank God my Disney Plus subscription runs out. So, on hashtag clown as OnlyFans. Yeah, we haven't seen clown as for a while. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Sorry, you don't have to say anything, buddy. You don't have to say anything.
What else did you want? No.
Nothing. No, that's good.
Just because I looked in deep thought.
R-rated remake. No. But we still need to do 1/6 sex ed theater, though. I think a lot of people are looking forward to a little thing there. R-rated remake of John Carpenter's They Live, directed by Todd Phillips, starring Gina Carano and Carl Weathers, with Henry Cavill and Meg Foster. Any takers? I would take my money, but just make it original movie. Just make it original movie, or a weird sequel or something. But yeah, that cast would sign me up with that cast. Josh Foley. What's that?
Oh, no, you were talking.
We had two people go.
Henry Cavill is good at everything he does. Everything he's in, he's good because he's like extremely committed.
Is it because of his tits? Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah.
Well, hey. You know what came up for me in my autoplay the other day? It was like 5 minutes of Henry Cavill being uncomfortable or something. And it was all these scenarios where if the roles were reversed, that person would get fucking canceled, because it was all these situations where these women that were interviewing him would like be like, oh yeah, I kind of just really want to fuck you. Like,
imagine what the gay guys do to him.
Yeah, like, and it was just Henry Cavill being like, okay, oh, all right, you know, like doing this thing.
Polite. He's like Clark Kent. Yeah.
And if that role were reversed, if that were like Elizabeth Olsen or whatever, people would just be all over them. But if everybody thinks it's funny, and I mean it's funny.
Well,
but
not now that we know he dated that monster.
Canceled.
I think we could tell it was all an act.
All an act.
I'd check his press photos for okay hand signs. That's what I would start doing.
I would too. Well, thank God they got rid of that SDG&E employee for flicking a booger.
Oh, job. That's what that. Yeah, right. That was any forensic scientist could tell you that was a booger flick move.
Yep.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm okay with canceling all people associated with SDG and evil. Fuck them. I pay way too much for electricity. So.
Oh, dude, tell me about it. Tell me about it. Oh, you don't even want to know what my bill is in this house. Fucking, at least at San Francisco, it was pretty cheap, but here is fucking insane.
Bro, I haven't ran the AC really since I first moved here, and it was like $800 that first month.
Yeah,
I was like,
Jesus Christ,
really?
Yeah.
No, we had a
fuck, dude.
We had a $1,400 electric bill.
$1,400.
God, California's awful.
Yep.
It really is, man. I mean, I live in Texas where it's hot as fuck during the summer, and my bill not even close to that.
But what about what just happened? Deregulation. That's what, you guys didn't have power, comics, right?
Yeah, I bought a generator, and that helped offset things. And I have a plan for future, power outages, so where it's not going to be an issue for me.
I can't believe you guys weren't ready for that once in a century storm.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you deregulate.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible. Texas sucks.
Didn't they not winterize the fucking windmills?
Yeah, well, that's kind of the point. It's like, why would we?
Didn't Warren G regulate?
Dude, that's hilarious. That's like an end of the world event. Winter for. That's like a world-ending event, like a comet hitting the dinosaurs. To have a winter in Texas.
Well, the thing that's so crazy about it too is the fact that if they didn't start initiating those rolling blackouts, I mean, it could have been like way worse. Like the entire state could have like lost power for like a month or so. So I mean, it could have been very bad.
Charged like $16,000, like something crazy. Some guy like has a $16,000 bill because of how it's set up in Texas. I swear to God, like.
I heard about that. Like, I know people. I know you do. Obviously, comics. You live there. I haven't actually heard any real person saying that shit.
The only thing I've heard is that because of what happened with ERCOT, that energy prices had spiked, and they're going to need to go and basically charge the population for like the next 10 years this overage.
Yeah,
So
that's like a real fucking like that was what that's what fucked shit up. Is that like,
welcome to Friday Night
really
Tights.
Suck. I mean, buy a generator, I guess. Shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Well, I have a generator, but I'm gonna have one where I can actually do a actual cutoff and run my entire house off a generator.
Utilities talk.
Like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house.
Yeah, there you go.
You know who you had a generator? Leatherface.
Brought to you by MG&E.
Yeah. You know who had a lot of power, Gary? Wanda.
Yeah.
Why can't
maybe
a
if
woman
Texas
just be
wasn't
powerful?
Wanda powered, it would have been fine.
If she was a woman, she'd be just fine.
Dude, check out the thing I just shared. This is a beautiful WandaVision comic which is coming out. I kidnapped and tortured and tattooed, but what can I say? I'm just a Wimex and okay. Now go and be the bestest ever. Work vision.
I'm gonna use that in my video. Thank you very much. Yeah, like does it? You know, I still haven't absorbed it because I've only watched it once. But that's the one thing that really stuck out. Like when she put a crack in the town to let the people go, and the mom just said her 8-year-old was in the fucking bedroom and has been there the whole time. How long were they there? A month? So an 8-year-old.
That doesn't even make sense. Like
no.
Everyone else, like
remember there weren't children before.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But there were during Halloween, right?
There were for the Halloween scene, but before that, Vision was going, where are all the children?
Yeah, right? But like they all got out at Halloween. Why don't you fucking let her out then?
Just fandom, all of your theories, every single one of them, like the kids being sacrificed to Mephisto, better fucking plot. Would have been made a much better show.
So is that, I mean, it really is like about a woman marrying her vibrator.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Holy shit.
And then it breaks.
You can get a new vibrator.
And another woman tells her to get
a white
new one.
vibrator.
Yeah, it was like the only one left at Walgreens was this white one.
Oh my god, should have get the knockoff Walgreens one.
Oh, God, that is fucking hilarious.
I mean, I
That's a
wasn't looking
story
at the
about a
shows
woman.
this way before I did this Friday Night Tights, but now I'm reading into everything more.
Yeah.
Hashtag Vision so white.
With a menstruating under theme or whatever you want to call it, underlying theme of a woman.
I broke this because I used it during my period. I need a new one from the government. The government should have to
The
give me a new
government should
vibrator.
pay. Yes. Oh.
I am white vision and I cannot be under a red barrier if I am white.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't get a.
I just want to show this picture. I just want to show this picture. So this is my excuse for sharing this. That's called sharing. Zibbity bop. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
I like that picture of Gina Carano. And Bob Chapek is a bald. New poll shows Americans overwhelmingly believe that Gina Carano has not. No, I mean, believe Disney unjustly fired Gina Carano from The Mandalorian.
Fired Disney.
Gina Carano unfiredly Disney. What?
Gary's just looking right at her tits. There you go.
Looking right at
To find things.
Gina Carano fired Disney with her tits.
Why are there two D's in Disney? What?
I don't know.
Double Disney.
A new poll claims that Americans overwhelmingly believe that Disney's firing of Gina Carano from The Mandalorian was unjust. The results of the poll conducted by Neil Newhouse and Public Opinion Strategies was exclusively released via the Daily Wire. The company Carano inked a deal with to produce in and star in an upcoming film after she was fired by Double Disney. According to the results of the poll, which were conducted between February 26th and the March 3rd, It's Amber Heard Day, or that was Amber Heard Day, March 3rd.
That's
58% of respondents were opposed to Disney's decision to fire Carano. Only 58%.
Yeah, 58's low.
Well, here's the thing: 58% were initially opposed to it based off everything they've heard, but then they were asked to actually read what happened, and that number changed.
Oh,
okay.
So the Daily Wire's Amanda, what the fuck is it? Prestigiacomo reports. I'm just going to say Amanda.
Friends call her Amanda, Gary.
Yes, just call her Amanda. Or prognosticator. How's that? Amanda Prognosticator reports when first asked, Americans were found to oppose Disney's decision to fire Carano by 58 to 42%, including a majority of Americans across all age groups, gender, and ethnicity. Majorities of Republican and Independent similarly opposed the firing, as well as 40% of Democrats. Wow. So there you go. However, when respondents were actually shown the social media post in question that resulted in Carano's firing, the number of respondents opposing Disney jumped to 72%. Prognosticator breaks down the numbers. After reviewing the post, 28% said Disney was right to fire Carano. 39%, fucking simps. 39% said it may have been poorly worded, but she did not deserve to get fired. And 34% said they found nothing wrong with the quote and that Carano should not have been fired at all. The social media post in question was a screenshot of a post from Warrior Priest Jim podcast that Carano shared to her Instagram stories. And it basically said, watch out. After activists on Twitter, such as discussing film, remember these fuckers.
Fuck discussing film. Fuck that fucking channel or that site and that handle, because they went full on, woke with this shit.
Yeah, and I mean, like, what did they get out of it? Some clicks for their ad money, so they got a couple $100.
Yeah.
Because they can't do it here on YouTube. Film attacked and lied about Carano. Disney would issue a statement through the press. Yeah, fucking fuck these fuckers.
And, like the most interesting thing to me about this whole story was that the difference between people with just their impressions from the media spin job, all this bullshit that they've been told, it was almost half and half. Only 58% thought that it was unjust until they actually were asked to read what she posted.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's because the media controls it.
With them saying that, the shitty part where they go, we don't allow people to denigrate. I mean, that's like slanderous. Like that's the part that makes extra shitty. So that's why people wouldn't even know. That's why you don't see the details. You can always tell it's a bullshit one. If they don't have something to take out of context, then they have to not give you the statement.
Yeah. And that extra shit, the abhorrent and denigrating people, that is exactly what you said. That's slanderous. That is libel. And that's something that wasn't fucking necessary. All they had to say was, she is not a part of Disney Star Wars. She will not be doing anything with us in the future. That's it.
That's all they had to say.
The extra stuff is intentionally meant to have her not get employed ever again.
I bet you anything, having been through this process of people doing that, I'll bet you whoever tweeted that, it's like they have, whoever does that part at Disney of their dumb fucking tweets, that's probably like a low-level jerk-off that was like being a hero,
It's
like
just an anonymous PR rep.
Yeah, it's like someone was like
an email.
Because I don't think if somebody high up would be like, yeah, and kick her on her way out like that. Like, I think that's like some dippy like blue hair works the Twitters.
Yeah,
and
could
made that call.
Legal ramifications to something like that.
Yeah, and it really should be. It is irony is like only as far as I can tell, only a woman so far has like stood up at all against this shit.
Exactly. I love this.
Well, it's just like it's amazing she gets no credit for that from them. Like that's
because she has the wrong thing.
Yeah, that's and by the way, that solves the mystery of why they were mean to Britney Spears. If you saw the it was because of men. Like she said, support George Bush, and then it was cool to treat her like a non-human, like that.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what Clay Travis says right here. I mean, woke culture is not the real world. Real world does not give a fuck about this stuff. And that's, you know, most people of all races despise woke culture. It's just true. It's just a small group of people. We need to, maybe not this week, but we need to watch Clay Travis's CNN appearance one more time. It's legendary stuff right there.
Do you think that they have the guy that sang Zippity Doodah locked up in a Disney jail?
Probably
to protect
there is
racist history
in Disneyland. There's a little holding place where you can detain people.
Shovel all their embarrassing.
Well, there's all kinds of like little tunnels under it, security tunnels and shit. Oh, dude, I've been kicked out of that place a couple times, man.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude, getting like loaded, just like completely loaded, getting caught, and like, you know, I know they're not cops. So I'm not gonna like risk losing my drugs for fucking Disney security. So
when you were younger, I thought you.
No.
God
yeah, a couple weeks ago he did a vlog. That's why he got 300,000 subs. He went viral getting kicked out of Disneyland.
You're hardcore.
I ran around Disneyland high as a kite during COVID.
My kids are crying.
Not recently, no, not within this century. Not this century.
You ever ride the teacup on
you didn't
shrooms,
respect
man?
the Disney cops' authority. And by the way, I think they have like, it's like the Vatican, like they have like real authority too.
in Florida, I think that in Florida they do. In Orange County, they can detain you until the cops get there. I know that. I understand. But I think Florida, they're like their own fucking country practically, right, Jeremy? I mean, that's what I heard.
He built it that way. He wanted a thing like where he owned all the the area.
Oh yeah. I mean, with what he did in Orlando, it's absolutely incredible. I mean, Disney World, it's its own city. It's got its own interstate. It's got its own everything. I mean, he didn't like the fact that at Disneyland, you know, it took away from the, you know, the theming that he was trying to create. You know, it kind of popped the bubble. You know, you got a strip joint and a liquor store right outside the front gate. So, you know, at Disney World, he controls the surroundings.
He just wanted to have a safe place, but you know, where as a virulent anti-Semite, he could keep the outside, you know, influences.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy how big Walt Disney World is compared to Disneyland. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, like cancel culture. If it keeps going the way it's going right now, it's going to get much, much worse, and it will affect Disney. They're going to have to put warnings on every fucking thing. And I talked about it last week. Like Joss Whedon directed 2 Avengers movies. He's a known creeper. Are they gonna put a warning label before the Avengers?
That would be so great. They need to.
Tony Stark, Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man. You know, he did blackface in Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
How you gonna? You know, you made billions of dollars off of Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. It's just stupid.
This film
it's just
contains
so
an actor
fucking
that wore
stupid.
blackface.
Joss Whedon had a lot of sex with a lot of actresses. Viewer discretion advised.
That's so good comics. That was good. That was good
You
comics.
made that. That's great.
That was comics.
Yeah.
That was good.
No, you're right though, and I just covered a story yesterday, just before the whole Star Trek thing happened, where that was basically an article in the Hollywood Reporter that was giving all these excuses why they need to basically make all these classic things safe. And you're not really a racist or a misogynist or a bigot if you like these things, but you are. So we're going to fix them for you, is what the whole article basically said.
Dude, you got to send me that article, man.
Oh, man, it was just like, I mean...
The thing that's crazy about it is all these things that are problematic they're fixing are the things invented by the liberal comic people
I know.
at the time.
Yes.
They're not correct. It wasn't like it was a right-wing thing. Like, if you were like...
Jesus.
Like if you read the old, and it's like the people could actually write better back then, I guess, even though they, you know, with all their red beliefs, they still like, you know, could write the goddamn stories.
Yep. Viewer discretion. Ray Fisher had his feelings hurt by Joss Whedon.
Viewer discretion is advised.
The director of this movie once hurt Cyborg.
Just have a little snippet of him at the start. Yeah.
The director of this movie likes porking young ladies. Viewer discretion is
I remember
advised.
when viewer
What was that
discretion
as?
was cool.
What was that as?
Yeah.
What was that as?
Oh, they should just have a little clip of Ray Fisher at the start, just going, "Just Sweden called me a," and then just get it cut off.
A nasty twat, or
he called me a princess and a prima donna. Do you believe it?
I had my feelings about Just Sweden.
Does Ray Fisher, when you
Now
look
you
at,
go watch this film, but know that I am.
when you see Ray Fisher as Cyborg now, like doesn't his human side of his face look extra soft?
It does. It's like shoot him
He's
in the
half
face.
man, half machine, all feelings.
I don't want to say
even the metal looks moisturized.
Well, even in that one trailer where it shows all of them standing up, and then Flash, Ezra Miller, Flash, and Ray Fisher, Cyborg, fist bump. Well, I mean, how is that any different than saying "booyah"? Seriously.
First of all, how toxic masculine does Ezra Miller look next to Cyborg?
At least Ezra Miller goes around beating up women, pregnant.
Yeah.
He's
choking them out.
Yeah, he ain't afraid to take a swing at a bitch.
It was in
real alpha
Iceland.
person.
It was in Iceland. They practically like that shit over there. So I'm just kidding. They eat like funky dead shark. So.
Oh, in Iceland,
like really
what
long dead shark. I know all shark is dead, but I forgot
like
what that delicate
shark.
All shark is dead.
All shark is the shark they eat. is dead. Not all shark.
All shark.
The shark that they eat is dead. Well, I don't know. They could be eating a living shark for a little while.
A shark in the ocean. It's a fucking ghost.
It sounds like an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
It sounds like
I see dead
all the
sharks.
sharks are dead. They just don't know it yet.
Games from the drunk side for $20 says you gotta get Kerp on the show more often. Kerp,
because of
by the way, what are you doing in Stallone's house?
We're working on it. We're bringing it back next week. It's because from At Home with Slice Stallone, and Stallone calls me Kerp.
Is he out?
Like, this is how he fucks my name.
You've left the garage and gone into his house now. Look.
Wait, you cut. Gary, you cut out. What?
I said At Home with Slice Stallone.
Yeah, that's so.
Stallone.
Kerp, the name Kerp really took off.
Yeah.
Amazing content by all you guys tonight, as always. Hail all. Thank you, Games from the drunk side. Yeah, I think I don't know. As you can pull some of that up if you want.
I've got a song.
You got a song?
I have got a song that we can play.
Is it?
This is my debut.
Oh, it's not related to the guest.
Single.
This number one hit.
The looking to get this up on. No, not even joking. Looking to get this up on Spotify. This is the Golden As Did I versus Problem Being with Meltdown Ocean Man.
Meltdown Ocean Man.
When you combine musical talent with a Batwoman rant.
Problem Being with probably the ultimate simp created a religion. Created a religion. It doesn't get like honestly, yeah. All right, then I want to put up some Kyle.
Sure.
And Kurt. There you go.
Ready to go.
Okay, somebody! Okay, somebody! Okay, somebody!
Take me by the hand, 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 him, say them, him, say them. Call me Fluffy. There is a Friday Night Tights cameo, by the way.
Everyone is you.
You're a baby drummer.
That's fucking amazing.
You're like Aphex Twin.
Oh my god, fucking divine.
bollocks, you can smile more.
Oh man.
She is so dangerous. That's cute, you massive fucking soy cock. Superficial bollocks. Him, they, them, spider monkey fucker. Some people just call me fluffy. Yard, 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 yard. It's Captain Gay. Yes, of course, it's Captain Gay. Yard, 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 yard. It's really
Holy shit.
Get some Hollywood. Oh, kitty fuck. Ocean night. Ocean night. Fucking sizzling. Ocean night. Ocean night. What your meatballs.
What the fuck?
The time, boys. Yada 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 yada. Flyer. One of them. So that went well. Let's move on. She's like, it's so. Oh, look, we want to win tonight. God damn it. I can't say the word tampon. But who fucking cares? Tripe. It's regurgitated from the fucking bowels of some talentless hack.
You've been very kind, but thanks.
Problem being, and the guy's talented, and the song is incredible.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Problem being. Hey.
That was funny as hell.
Well done.
That was Problem Being, chat called Problem Being, and he took the rant and he turned it into a song and he sent it to us last week sometime. And then somebody tweeted, they took the song and then they put a couple of deep fakes to it, about 10 seconds worth. And then Problem Being approached him, I think, and then he went and created a whole video of deep fakes with me in those different situations. That is amazing.
Is that like a like? How nice of shit do you have to do like a actual deep fake like those radar kind of, you know?
It's actually free software as far as I know.
It's not like, because I do a thing with Kyle with Snapcam, but it's not like that, like deep fake. Like, is that shit just out now that people can just do that?
Yeah, I think so.
It's like the Reface app is what it's called, or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, that Tom Cruise one that was circling around the other day. Yeah, that shit's no joke. It's gonna be a big problem for people sometime.
Yeah, the guy does voice doesn't sound that much like him, but he does like the gestures like.
No, Ryan, what you're saying, that there's something like incredibly dangerous that could come of that once it gets like perfect, you know? And
or maybe the best excuses ever for everyone.
This is true. That's a good point. And
they're getting there too, because did anybody else see Coming to America 2?
No,
not yet.
No.
I've not to touch.
There's a shot. There's a bit in there where it goes into the original movie, and I thought for a minute we were getting deleted scenes until I finally realized, holy shit, this is just deep faked, because Leslie Jones comes in and I'm like, obviously she wasn't in the original, no way. And I'm like, okay, so that looks really good, because Arsenio looked perfect and spot on, but then they cut to Eddie Murphy and he looked way off.
And it's just like, we've literally been talking today about people getting smeared, people getting lied about, even when you can see exactly what she wrote, but people still have a different perspective. Imagine if just one picture of something, captured from this just spreads like wildfire and woke Twitter runs with it. Like it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter what the context is. All that's gonna matter is who reports it first and how it is reported. It's going to be a big fucking problem.
There are so many problems, Ryan.
Like if you don't work for Disney, also like a lot of people. One thing I noticed in common is a lot of people worked for Disney in some way, whether they knew it or not.
Yeah.
Like ABC that's a Disney owns that, right?
ESPN. Oh, they got a huge list of companies that they're actually affiliated with or own or whatever.
And there's a lot of problems. I love the byline on this one. So it's a racist, sexist classic.
Yeah.
How Hollywood is dealing with its problematic content.
Oh my God.
They're blaming it on you, the viewer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Usually.
Yes.
Yep. This is the one I was talking about right here. Yep.
As streamers build out their lucrative libraries, they're going to be less lucrative as they go on. They are experimenting with label warnings, context panels, and even purges. These are valuable properties that you cannot disregard. You want to keep them, but you have to make sure they don't damage